Nashville, Tennessee, a city of dreams for aspiring young musicians who yearn for a career in country music. Over the years, Nashville Speedway, USA has been an asphalt field of dreams for the young race car drivers searching for the big time. Last year, it was rookie Steve Park who broke through with his first NASCAR Busch Series win. Who'll follow his lead? Open wheel champ Tony Stewart is still looking for his first win. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is carrying the momentum of a second-place run at Las Vegas, looking for victory. Or how about another new name? Or perhaps one of the host of veterans could wind up in victory lane. But one thing's for sure, when the sun sets in Nashville, someone will live out their dream. For 40 years, NASCAR fans have come to Nashville Speedway, USA, and they're back again today. The Bell South Mobility Opryland 320 is up next, the fourth stop on the NASCAR Busch Series schedule in 1998. A lot of storylines for you this weekend here in Nashville. The first major story, a huge wreck shortly after 9 o'clock yesterday morning. It was midway down the back straightaway that many of the teams were able to stop. Others, however, weren't able to. Jimmy Foster in the number 50, he sees others beginning to spin and slow down. Dave Blaney and Shane Hall all ready together, and there came Tim Fedor. A hard hit, he ends up on his roof. Every driver is fine, but many teams had to go to their backup cars, and many just failed to qualify. Larry McReynolds, tenths of a second, really the story in qualifying.
Eli, the big talk the last couple of years has been how tough it is to qualify for a Winston Cup event and how many major teams go home each week. From second to 36th position here, 4.5 tenths of a second, all that separates those cars.
And the third of our bullet points for you today is Casey who? Buddy Baker, who is he?
Casey Atwood, 17 years old, our fast qualifier for today. You know, 5 days a week, he's your boy next door. But behind the wheel, he's a patient, mature race car driver.
Now, there is a threat of rain. As a matter of fact, they have just fired the engines right now. So why don't we take a look at the starting grid for you for today's 320-lap event for the NASCAR Busch Series. There you see Atwood and Elliott Sadler sharing row number 1. Ed Berrier and Joe Nemechek, they are in row number 2. Joe Bessie, a great qualifying effort, and Robert Presley. There's Dale Earnhardt Jr. He was second at Las Vegas, and the local favorite, Chad Chaffin. Stanton Barrett and Geoff Purvis rounding out the top 10. Dave Blaney from the World of Outlaws and Blaze Alexander from ARCA. I'll tell you, Larry McReynolds, that's a rather interesting top 12 qualifiers.
Normally wouldn't be up there, but they're there and going to try to stay up front as the day goes on.
Continuing our look at the starting grid, Andy Santerre, Lyndon Amick. He has Buddy Red Dog Barnes working with him. There's David Green. New car for Mike McLaughlin was lost in that wreck yesterday. He's gone to a backup. Randy LaJoy and Matt Kenseth, who won here on TNN back at Rockingham. Mike Cope has run here many times in the Slim Jim All-Pro Series. Matter of fact, Buddy Baker, this racetrack has been a proving ground for many of the top stars over the years.
I've heard a lot of people say this is one of the top 3 short tracks in the United States, and the proof of it, champions in Winston Cup, and so many guys that have come from this racetrack and went on to stardom in Winston Cup racing.
There you see row number 19, row number 20 is Matt Hutter, Elton Sawyer, one of the Ironmen in the series now, Hermie Sadler. Glenn Allen Jr., Tracy Leslie, and shotgun on the field. That is Stevie Reeves. The field, as you see, has just rolled onto the pit lane or off pit lane onto the racetrack. Steve Burns, they've been dodging a little rain shower here in the last few moments.
Yeah, but they're ready to go now, Eli. Now, Buddy mentioned Casey Atwood, just 17 years old. This is his home track. He grew up near here. He raced late models here last last year and won. Now, Dennis Adcock on top of the pit box, he's the crew chief. He said, we've tested here in this Busch car, and every time we tested, it was cold, it was overcast, so we feel like we have the right setup to go after him. Now let's go to Randy Pemberton.
Crazy. Almost everybody they're mentioning got killed in wrecks.
For several of these teams. There are 43 starters on the grid today, only 34 pit stalls. That means 18 cars will be coupled up here on pit road. Now, some of these cars, you'll notice, this is a pit chart starting with turn 1 all the way down to turn 4. What's going to happen here is some of these cars that are pitting with other vehicles have to race the car that they are pitting next to in order to get them granted first shot at coming in the pit when a caution flag flies. So there's kind of a race within a race here this afternoon. You got to beat the guy that you're pitting with in order to get first shot at the pit. If not, you have to pit the next time around with any other car that may possibly be one lap down, and you may never recover from that the rest of the afternoon. Tough situation for a lot of these teams.
That is a huge situation to have to deal with. Now let's check out the AutoZone race analysis for you. AutoZone giving you all the numbers that you need to see. 320 laps, 190 plus miles an hour. This racetrack, or at least 190 plus miles in distance. This racetrack is just a bit over a half mile around, 0.596 the distance. As we close in on the start, again, a brief rain shower moved across the speedway just prior to the command to fire the engines. They quickly covered the race cars, but as quickly as that rain shower began, it has stopped. And we are set to go racing here, but again, the threat of rain continues in the area. They'll be getting the 3-to-go signal when they come by this next time. It takes a while, particularly on a coolish weekend, fellas, to warm everything up. One of the critical items that have to be at a correct temperature, buddy, because especially on a cool day like this and all weekend, it's been in the mornings 18, 20 degrees. They've sat for a long time. What has to be warmed up?
First thing you need to do is make sure the engine and the running gear, the transmission and rear end, and also you need to put some heat into the tires. So everything, and Larry Mack will tell you, the first thing he does, he makes his driver say, okay, what's the oil temperature, water temperature, oil pressure? You check everything out. You go back and forth, get all the debris off the tires, going back and forth. Put a little heat in them. They hold a little better when they're not just ice cold.
I think that's the most critical thing in these type of temperatures is the heat in the tires. We saw it in qualifying yesterday. These cars couldn't hardly get hooked up and get around this racetrack, even on the second lap. So I think getting heat in those tires is what these crew chiefs is telling these drivers right now.
And there you see the track description. Of course, in the old days, as we all remember, those of us who were lucky enough to be here for Winston Cup races many years ago, the track banking, buddy, used to be right like Bristol up at 36 degrees till they started cutting her down.
Yeah, but it's a lot better racing. With 18 degrees, you have an inside groove, an outside groove. The way it used to be, you just run down the straightaway and right up to the outside wall and then cut straight back down to get off the corner. It was a pretty dangerous racetrack. It's much better now.
Now, those of you who were with us here yesterday on our telecast of the local late model stock car race here at Nashville, remember that we were talking about Hoosier tires, and even the local truck series that runs here runs the grooved Hoosier tire. But Steve Burns has done it all the storyline here today.
Nope, they're on the Goodyear Eagles here at Nashville for the Busch Series race. Now, I just want to let you folks know the tire rule. The teams get 3 sets of tires under caution, in addition to the set they'll start the race on today. We hear a lot about tire management in the Winston Cup Series. Same thing here. This is can be an abrasive racetrack. So the teams are saying they feel comfortable going 80, 90 laps on a set of tires. So again, tire management will be a key this afternoon.
And that sounds to be a storyline everywhere we go. There are some of the names of those who did not qualify. And Derek Gilchrist trying to get a Jimmy Spencer car in the field. Jeff Krogh had problems in qualifying. Mike Stefanik, they were caught up in that accident. Brad Loney also caught up in the accident yesterday as the field gets the 1-to-go signal from Carl Simmons. And that's how the manufacturer's numbers stack up here in early 1998.
Well, in the field, you can see there's 29 Chevrolets, 9 Fords, and 5 Pontiacs in today's field.
Getting set to go green. We haven't shown you any in-car camera pictures yet because of the little rain in the area and the low ceiling. We are having a little difficulty getting the helicopter up high enough. As you look at Dennis Adcock, he is the crew chief for our pole sitter Casey Atwood. But as soon as that helicopter can get up,
Dennis
with the
will lose his
prevailing
life
weather
in a
conditions, we'll have
practice
our normal
crash, I believe, at
contingent of
Daytona.
in-car cameras.
And Casey Atwood will lose his life also. No, wait a minute.
Casey Atwood were all regulars here at the Nashville Speedway USA. Think about it, guys. Other than Mike McLaughlin in 1997,
I think
the
Casey
last
is
three of
still
the other four pole sitters, Casey Atwood, Sterling Marlin, Darrell Waltrip, all former regulars here at Nashville. We are set to go racing. Glad you are with us here on TNN Motorsports. Here we go. Green flag in the air. A little give and take on the cold tires.
Yeah, he's still alive. But he left racing, I believe, with some stuff going on. I remember some. But I
showing a lot of patience there. That's the one thing everybody talks about this kid having a lot of maturity, even though he's 17
he was in the Busch Series, most success 1999 to
Second lane
2000.
working good here, and that's normally the characteristic here at Nashville. It's not necessarily run around the bottom the fastest way. There you see Joe Nemechek working that second lane
Youngest
off
winner
turn
in
2.
history, Elite Team.
77 is Ed Berrier with a good start here after a good qualifying
Joe
run.
Logano
The 84, Chad Chapman, another of the local stars here at Nashville Speedway, who has since graduated to Berrier. And there goes Berrier. Caution. Here goes the Santerre car. And there go others.
Oh, come on, man.
14 nosed into by Matt Hutter. And caution is on
Where's
the
your
speedway.
spotters?
Lap number 4.
40 kids left. Go ahead. Catch up. After
Ed Berrier, the first to go around. You're eavesdropping in on Matt Hutter's team. We'll get another good look at all that transpired when we come back. Jason Keller limping around with a good bit of front end damage as Billy Nasowitz looks on from the pits.
Those are New England
TNN
modified
Motorsports
people.
live coverage of the Bell South
Naswitz.
Mobility Opryland 320 is brought to you
He
today
was
by
well known
Texaco.
in the
Texaco,
garage.
a world of energy. And by the more than 1,900 AutoZone stores across
I was
America.
reading, and that's why I
AutoZone,
was
the
like,
best
I
parts
couldn't
in auto
distract him.
parts.
Yeah, he's
We are
still
working
alive.
the
He
first
just
caution
stopped
flag of
racing
the
in
afternoon.
09.
That is the second pit stop for Ed Berrier and Steve Burns, as Buddy Baker says to us. His wheels are pointing at about 10 minutes to 2.
Yep, and that's not good. They just raised the hood. Jimmy Means, the team manager here, former Winston Cup competitor, brought Berrier in for a second stop. They also feel they have a broken brake line, and it's a tough break for Ed Berrier.
I'm still trying to figure out if my dad's working with the 33 yet.
Let's take a look now at what transpired a few moments ago. Watch this going into turn 1.
You see Ed Berrier there in the 77 just goes in the corner and loses control, hits with the right front corner there. That messed the front up in, but back behind Santerre spins. This is chain reaction. This is just a lot of cars getting in trouble because there's trouble in front with 18 degrees banking. They can't see what's in front of them going off in the corner.
Patty Moise and Hutter spun there, Larry.
It just, again, like Buddy said, this is one of those situations where, you know, one car maybe slows up and it's like the bumper effect. You know, this one hits this one, this one hits this one, and next thing you know, you got 3 or 4 cars involved, which began as a one-car incident.
And there's the tire off of Ed Berrier's machine as he continues to sit on the pit lane.
That's a bit of an ouch. Hi,
A lot
gamer.
of
Good
work
morning.
being done by the crew right
Thank
now.
you
So
for
the first caution flag of the day. Patty Moise has
saying
also
hello,
been in for
coming
service.
by.
She stopped on lap number 8. You saw Patty's
Gonna do
car
a quick
spin,
race before
she
we
was
get on
nudged
our
by the
business
Matt
of
Hutter
the
automobile.
move
So
stuff.
a lot of work now taking place down on the pit lane. Glad you're with us here at Nashville Speedway USA. Kind of a rush to get on the air today
looking for
because
a
of that rain
picture
shower that came through, and there is still a threat of rain in the area. Though, as you can see
The
in
car
the distance
bumper
there, the
that we
sky
still
is
have
lightening
from
just a bit, and the
98.
ceiling is going up, so that's always good news. 43 teams starting the event here at Nashville today. We showed you the list of those who failed to qualify earlier. Field will get the 1 to go signal when they come by. Let's set the top 10 for you so you'll know exactly who's running where. That's Stanton Barrett running in 10th.
You know, let's give a guy a real call here. Chad Chaffin in 4th place there, does not run on the regular circuit. This is a home-built car. It was built right here in this state. And I'm telling you, to run 4th against this kind of competition, he is doing one whale of a job.
And he started 8th, Buddy Baker, so already just in a few short laps of green flag racing, he's moved up to 4th position.
Lyndon Amick has made a pit stop. As we're about a half lap from going green. You know who I'm going to be interested to watch today is Geoff Purvis. We were talking with him at the NASCAR Cafe here in Nashville the other night. And he said, well, we're not running real well. We're just going to kind of smile and grin our way through the weekend and look ahead to Darlington. And he's grinned his way to 8th right now. And he's always tough here.
Grinned his way to 8th.
Tough.
He really is, you know, and when we watched him qualify yesterday, I told him this morning, I said, Geoff, it wasn't pretty, but it was pretty fast.
Amen. I like that. Getting set to go back to green. Elliott Sadler is the race leader. Here comes the pace car.
They're coming. Get ready. Get ready. Green. Go, go, go. Go, go, go.
All the spotters queuing their drivers to get with the program. And we are back on the green here at Nashville.
Robert Presley in the 59 thought about getting a jump on Chad Chaffin, but he couldn't make her stick. You can see back here they're running 2 and 3 wide going down into turn 3.
Sadler leads. Atwood is second. There'll be a stop and go penalty on Matt Kenseth, who had just come down the pit lane and in his anxious moments to get back on the racetrack was going too quickly. Randy Pemberton, what was the deal there with Matt Kenseth?
Kenseth had body damage, not to mention some damage on the left front. There's a toe-in probably as a result of that wreck. They pitted 4 times under that caution. They brought him down 1 extra time, and the field happened to be coming down for the green flag. He tried to beat him off pit road, but he got the stop and go.
He is now running a lap down in 42nd position.
That's the thing about when you pit here. It's a pretty long pit road, and you have to run 35 miles an hour. And he saw the field coming.
I think
and,
we're with
Fedewood
today.
But again, they caught him for speed.
And he's on that very first pit stall.
But I'm not sure. Well, during 98, I think Dad's with Fedewood.
Pits wrap around turn 3 and 4.
What I'm trying to look for is
Casey Atwood right now in 2nd
photograph.
place. He's thought about passing on the outside just a second ago, which is unheard of this early in the race. But he wants to lead this race and is running very, very well. This same car finished 4th last year with Geoff Purvis driving it.
Riding with Joe Nemechek as Atwood makes a bid for the lead if he can hang on to the inside groove. 2 of the young Lions, Elliott Sadler and 17-year-old Casey Atwood battling for the lead.
Give me patience, Lord, but let me have it now. Here it goes.
They have definitely got that car working on the bottom of the racetrack, and it didn't take him long to go by Elliott Sadler.
16 laps, the lead changed. For those of you keeping tabs on paper at home, Atwood the leader, Sadler now in second. High up the racetrack goes Kevin Schwantz, the former motorcycle standout. But he gathered it back in, Schwantz did.
Here comes Chad Chaffin on the bottom side in the 84 there trying to get by Joe Nemechek, and he always runs very well here. This is not a surprise to see Chad Chaffin run this well.
It really isn't. It looks like the local boys has got their cars working on the bottom of the racetrack.
How much does that mean, buddy?
Check this
Familiarity
out.
with the
This
track.
is in my
Cars are far lighter, far
my
different
sister's
than these. What is familiarity?
garage.
Well, you can see right
So I'm
now,
gonna see which
he's not
race
familiar
gets
with
that
Robert
big old
Presley.
gash
If
ding
he's on
in
the
that
outside,
33
Robert Presley will
Fedewa
take that spot away from him.
bumper. But Dad will work with him that year.
You know what it changes to. You know the animal it turns to after 100 laps or so. Racetrack changes all day
Or this
long.
year.
The more rubber, the more oil that gets into the surface.
That's what I was
the more
looking
slide,
for,
the
was
more
that
pushing
bumper.
power they do on the racetrack.
I guess I got to take back what I said. He's not able to run that
Been
car on the
kicking
bottom of the
around the
racetrack
family
last
since
year. I don't know if
98.
he's running down there and maybe abuse the tire, but he's having a tough time. He's got a mirror full of Robert Presley right now.
Presley's in that Kingsford number 59. And look at
Sorry.
this battle further behind. The 48 right in the middle. That's Randy Porter in that green and white white car, having taken over from Dale Shaw, who was relieved of that ride. And you know who's on the move? That yellow and blue Lysol car, number 63. That's Tracy Leslie, who had a terrible break in qualifying here on yesterday afternoon's action. He's all the way up now to 27.
Well, you know, he really did. He was the first car that had to go back out after Probe lost the motor going into turn 3. The whole north end of the racetrack was nothing but sand, and he really didn't qualify like he had been running. He was one of the quickest cars in practice.
That's also a team that has been helped a good bit of late. Not that they always need a lot of help by any stretch, but Dick Hutcherson from Hutcherson-Pagan has been helping out with the Hensleys in setting up their race car. 22 laps complete. That's 27th on back.
You can see Jimmy Foster in the 50 there. He was using a little push power there, trying to get through traffic. He's doing a very, very good job. First year out, this car really doing a fine job.
The Napa folks bringing you NASCAR timing and scoring throughout the day across the top of the screen. We'll keep it up for much of the afternoon, so you'll know exactly where your favorite driver is running. 29, Hermie Sadler. 47 to the outside. That's Andy Santerre in a backup. He was caught up in the accident yesterday. Glenn Allen Jr. in that black number 99, bypassing Randy Porter. And Mark Green also there as we go back up front now to third and fourth place. Joe Nemechek left of your screen. Looking back now to Chad Chaffin, who's running in fourth.
Yeah, you can see Ed Barrier. He was running right up front. But after that wreck he had at the first stages of the race, he's not able to run very fast now.
I hope you're doing good, gamer. It's good to see you. Chris is still
positions.
sleeping. He sounds asleep.
Dale Earnhardt Jr., Tony Stewart. Two of the fellows we had talked about at the opening of our telecast today, and Earnhardt and Stewart. Of course, Bessie, you know, you take a look, the youth in this series. Joe Bessie's been around a while, still a young man. I mean, this is some NASCAR future in the NASCAR Busch Series.
Absolutely. You could take those three guys and write 3 or 4 pages about the future, because Dale Earnhardt Jr., everybody knows, if they watch the race in Las Vegas, he ran a very strong second there.
And Eli, buddy, you know, Dale Jr. talked to us yesterday about this race car. This is the same car that Steve Park won the race with roughly 11 months ago. Steve told him, said, look, here's a setup that'll work. It's not going to feel the greatest, but it's going to be
That's
good. That's
kind of how he was for the last few days, and it finally caught up with him. He has insomnia.
Steve Park, I know he's watching at home in his living room after being released from the hospital after his Atlanta injuries, and he sees that power move, and it also allows the 44 of Tony Stewart to get by. So both men get around Joe Bessie. Up front, Casey Atwood is still the race leader, and there he is now. It's as comfortable a lead as he could have hoped for at this stage of the day. He's up by a 2 3/4 on Elliott Sadler. We are back in Nashville on TNN Motorsports. Eli Gold, Buddy Baker, Larry McReynolds, Randy Pemberton, Steve Burns on hand. Watching that man, Casey Atwood, 17 years of age. And he has started from the Bud pole, and he is now beginning to lap up to the 38th place runner, Matt Hutter. Let's go down and hear from his crew chief, Dennis Adcock.
Yeah, Dennis said they were wicked fast in practice yesterday. Your young driver's putting on quite a show, Dennis. Well, I can't really hear you down here. We're running just like we ran in practice. Everything we done to the car before practice, we left it just like that this morning, and it's hooked up. Is she saying anything to you? Is Casey saying anything to you? A little tight right now, right a little tight in the middle, but we'll be all right.
Meanwhile, other battles on the racetrack. Jeff Purvis to the number 4, the 33 of Tim Fedewa. That's 9th and 10th. But watch what happened a moment or so ago while you were away on a commercial break.
Whoa, Blaze Alexander got into the quarter panel of Jeff Purvis coming off the corner, and he was very lucky to get that car back straight.
And now the battle continues for 8th position there. Purvis outside of Tim Fedewa. And Fedewa was the guy who rolled his car during that accident here yesterday morning. This obviously the backup.
Trying to go around the lap car there of Lyndon Amick, who was involved in that first caution that we had earlier.
Kevin LePage right in behind as well, running in the 9th spot in that that car number 40 right behind. I'll tell you something, LePage, between this series and what he has done with the 91 car in NASCAR Winston Cup, he's catching a lot of folks' attention as we ride with him now down the main straightaway.
You know, I talked to him this morning and told him, I said, Kevin, I believe you may have had the best Chevrolet Monte Carlo at Atlanta. You know, they just kept fighting and he kept fighting and really had a good run all day.
I talked to him this morning also, and I told him, I said, I guarantee you one thing, you're getting a lot of attention. You're doing very, very well. Keep doing what you're doing, and you'll land on your feet, boy, in this racing business.
Okay, I'll cue it up right now.
Riding with Geoff Purvis.
All clear.
Very cool.
You're listening in to Geoff Purvis's radio. Johnny Allen and he talking back and forth.
All clear.
The leader, meanwhile, catching a good bit of race traffic. The white car at the back of the pack is the leader, Casey Atwood.
Now we get to see what patience really means on the racetrack. He has a fast car, but he has to be able to work traffic all day, too, to stay out of trouble.
Wayne Grubb is in the 83.
Eli, he had pulled away to 3.5 seconds over second place, but there's something that'll reel that second place car in a hurry, and that's his lap traffic.
Got that right. Ed Barrier in the 77 being put a lap down. 46 laps on the board. Casey Atwood working traffic, but he has the best seat in the house.
Brought to you
Cool.
by LA West Luxury Vans, the world's ultimate sport utility vehicle. LA West Luxury Vans, available at select Ford dealerships nationwide. Call us at 800-786-VANS.
Oh, I gotcha. Very cool, yeah. I saw that it was something to do with NASCAR 25.
He is caught up with Randy Porter. There's Dale Earnhardt Jr. running in
Casey
6th
Kerr,
right now.
Matt
Steve
Malone,
Burns,
of
are they
course.
concerned about something?
Fabiano, yeah.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. sure is, Eli. The
That's
front end of
cool.
that car is damaged a little bit, as you can see there. Earnhardt Jr. is concerned about an
Oh, yeah,
overheating
yeah.
problem.
I'll
They
put
aren't
that up,
overheating yet,
actually.
but he's got enough damage to the
After
front
it.
end that it is a
Or I'll
concern
watch it
that
after.
Eli
I
has
don't know how
allowed
copyright and those
What they've
things
got
are.
there, the
They're
hood
probably
is
pretty
actually
copyrighted.
closed off that top
The reason
opening.
I
As
can
you see
play
out
old
there, there's a
races
lot of
because it
tape
is
on the bottom,
history.
you know, and that's
I-
stuff there, dynamics
I don't know
racing
what
put
the
down
exact
on the
year
bottom with the top opening
where they
closed
consider it
off.
history.
The
I think
ductwork is
6
not getting
years
as much
or
air
so, but
to
I
the
think
radiators
it's
as it
history
should, buddy.
because it's
You know what?
news.
That's a pretty familiar sight that
I
see
get
about every
copyright,
Sunday
so
morning.
anything, if it was ever to be monetized on YouTube, wouldn't get
The one
any
advantage they do have is
revenue,
they can
which
pull
is
that tape
fine
off.
because I don't do it for that. I'm doing it
Getting
kind
the top
of
part of that hood in.
because
Meanwhile,
the
while we're
history,
watching
you know.
here, we've had a swap for the lead
Some of
as
the other
Elliott
stories.
Sadler has moved around Casey
As a
Atwood,
kid,
who is,
watching
caught up in
your
traffic,
father
and
build
Sadler is
cars, you
bypassed
see,
him and now
like,
pulled all the
another
way
side of
away.
it.
So a swap for the lead at lap number 53.
Kinda cool. I like
as
racing a
Elliott
lot.
Sadler has
We're getting
reassumed
excited. We gotta
the
move
lead. He had it for
really,
the
really
first
soon
15
here.
laps of the afternoon.
Eli, he actually
Real
pulled Joe
soon.
Nemechek with him, so they've actually bumped Casey Atwood back to the
Christopher
third
will
position.
set up
Now
the time and
Presley
everything
goes
as
by,
soon
so
as
Atwood is back
he
into the
sets up
fourth
the time.
position now.
I'll
And they're the 66, that
load
black car in the
everything
middle
up.
of your screen, the new race leader.
You know one thing, when you run occasionally, these guys are not familiar with the car when they look in the mirror. They're
Yeah,
not sure
yeah.
if it's the leader or
Like
who it is
kids
behind
again.
them. And a lot of times, like they look back there and see Elliott
Cool.
Sadler, they say he's fast and they'll let him go right on by.
Here's what happened while we were checking on Dale Earnhardt
I
Jr.
think that the sim is a
66.
Right there, he's
necessary
behind
tool in
Paddy
racing
Wallace and
today.
can't pull over because Elliott
The
Sadler's on the
kids
outside.
that start out on the
There's
sim
Nemechek
just
in the
seem to have a
87
little
going
bit
right with
of
him, and
more
that's how quickly
advanced
you can go from first
skills.
to fourth place on this racetrack. So
Now
Elliott
look at
Sadler,
Willie
the race
B,
leader,
you know.
finished 30th here last year.
Willie
But a
B is
broken rear
your-
end sent him to the garage
Your goat
area.
right now.
But that's
for my
also the
racing.
car that won last year in Nazareth and Myrtle Beach and finished second at Indianapolis and Milwaukee. So Steve Burns, Elliott's car, has got some pretty good success numbers.
Yeah, Eli, and even though he finished 30th here last year, remember he was running in the top 5 much of the day until the rear end came out of that car. So he told us yesterday in the garage here that he felt very confident about his performance here at Nashville, even though the finish last year didn't reflect it.
That's the on the screen. Nemechek in the 87, 59, Presley behind him.
Here comes Robert Presley on the inside as they exit the corner there. You can see he has that position going into turn 1.
Meanwhile, there's Elliott Sadler in the 66, the leader, as Presley makes the move on Nemechek. Elliott Sadler about to put a lap on his brother, Hermie Sadler, who's running in 34th. Randy, what's the deal with Hermie?
For everything it's worth right now, he came over the radio not long after this race started, said the car is fluttering, nor is it working very well. So he's struggling right now. They're hoping for a pit stop. Take a look under the hood, but the car just not getting around whether or not it's fluttering or not. But I put the stopwatch on right before Casey Atwood lost this
Oh, that's really cool, the pay-to-ride experience. I was talking to somebody online last week that used to be a spotter for the Racing Experience School.
And look at Casey Atwood fighting on the inside of Joe Nemechek there for 3rd place. These guys are going at it like it's 10 laps to go here.
Casey just got caught in a bad position while ago in that lap traffic, but I think he's still got an awfully fast race car.
So the current Iron Man of the NASCAR Busch Series going a lap down, Hermie Sadler. Ours not to take anything from great Iron Men of the past like Jack Ingram and Tommy Houston, but we call him the Iron Man because of his ongoing list of consecutive starts. Which for Hermie Sadler now is up to 144. Battle for the lead.
Robert Presley's got the inside groove. You can see the 66 of Elliott Sadler sweeping up high, but that gives him a good run down the straightaway there. Robert's trying every way in the world to pull even with him.
There you see he pulled door handle to door handle almost off turn 2 right there. He may have the line getting into turn 3, and he makes the pass to take the lead.
This is lap number 65. Robert Presley takes the top spot here at Nashville Speedway, USA.
You know, Robert Presley, I imagine right now is feeling pretty good because he has not had a stellar year this year. He's been really struggling, so to see him up front leading the race again, it looks normal. Casey Atwood's taking over 3rd place and moving in on Elliott Sadler.
So Robert Presley showing the way. A 10-time winner on the NASCAR Busch Series as Casey Atwood now battles Elliott Sadler, and to the delight of the local fans, grabs 2nd place. We're coming right back. Under caution here at the Nashville Speedway, USA, Wayne Grubb in the 83 car, having spun between turns 3 and 4. Now here come the leaders onto the pit lane. These stops at lap number 72. Some will stop at lap number 73, but Robert Presley leads them down the pit lane to the attention of the crew. Steve Burns is first.
And we're looking at Elliott Sadler. He is complaining that the car is loose in the center of the turns. They're going to make a track bar adjustment. Going to go down on the right side about 5 or 6 rounds. Casey Atwood getting service in front of him. Now let's check in with Randy Pemberton.
Randy LaJoie is in. Glad he caught that caution. A lot of adjusting. It's going to be 4 tires for LaJoie. Whoa, we've got a mess down here in the pits. Guys backing up, going back and forth. The bottom line is Randy LaJoie, track bar adjustment. 2 rounds from right to left side. Wait for guests. Steve Burns.
And Casey Atwood just got, now this is where it's going to be tough for Casey Atwood. This team may not have as much experience.
I think that was a really neat thing there. Fedua, Dad was crew chiefing, and his friend Steve Berg was crew chiefing in the same building there for Randy LaJoie, so they were both at base. It would have been nice if that turned out, but something went, like I said, when you're competitors and stuff and you're either a crew member or crew chief or driver, you don't know the financial situations until all of a sudden, you know, something happens, like they start firing people or something. And all of a sudden, just, I think it had financial situation. Not because of firings necessarily there, but there were other signs that they were base was in financial trouble, and it would have been really cool if it would have lasted, but I believe it dismantled at the end of '98 for a bit, or slimmed down to a 1-car team, I think. we'll see. Some of the history's blurry there because I wasn't exactly involved. I was more like hearing things secondhand through my dad.
By 1 1/10 Joe Nemechek runs third. Elliott Sadler fourth. Tony Stewart is fifth. Tim Fedewa restarts in sixth. Casey Atwood is seventh. Jeff Purvis is eighth. Jason Keller ninth. And Dave Blaney restarting in 10th as you ride with Joe Nemechek in third.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. is having a fit right now, trying to get by Hermie Sadler. A lap car right there. He's tried for about 4 or 5 laps, and while he's fighting with him, you can see Robert Presley's put about a 15-car length lead on everybody.
You saw in those pit summaries right there, Dale Earnhardt Jr. going from 5th to 2nd. At a racetrack like this, you know, you can have a pit stop that's 1 or 2 seconds better, and it could take you 30 laps to get by that many cars on the racetrack.
And conversely, Chad Chaffin, who had been running up in the top 10, after his pit stop, he's way back in 25th position. So not a good series of stops. Just ahead of Earnhardt Jr., you see Hermie Sadler there, at the number 29. Hermie had beaten the leader back to the stripe, it seemed, to get his lap back. What we weren't able to see at the time, was that was the second time he had taken the caution flag. He had gotten it the first time around, and he was then locked in on position, but he kept on coming again. So they have just given him, they have taken away the lap that he took from NASCAR. So the 29 there is again a lap down.
Earnhardt finally got by now. We'll see if he moves over and lets Nemechek and all these guys that are fighting for the first 6 positions here by.
And we'll see if he can reel Robert Presley back in, because while he was fighting Hermie Sadler, Presley had pulled off to a 2-second lead.
Joe Nemechek, we saw him in third. Good battle up front. Presley, Earnhardt Jr. And there you see the speeds, 140 miles an hour on the straightaways here. And that's something a fellow who's down in the pit area would love to be doing right now. T. Graham Brown is here. He sang the national anthem, Steve, and I know he's a big race fan and has gone racing himself a little bit.
He sure has, Eli. He's down here behind Casey Atwood's pits. What brings you out here, T. Graham?
You know what? It's great to be out here today. I'm really, really happy for this Lockamy Adcock team. They got a 17-year-old Casey Atwood. He's driving it in there, man. It's very exciting. Very exciting.
Thanks for being with us. Thanks for being with us.
I didn't hear you. Oh, you're welcome. Hi, Mom.
That is one of the side byproducts of short track racing. It is so very loud in the infield bowl area of this racetrack. Here's a good 4th place battle now. Joe Nemechek 87. Elliott Sadler 66. And how about Tim Fedewa in the 33, guys, after having to roll out another car after the accident yesterday?
That's what I was just going to say. This is not their primary car, but it is running like it. He's right now as fast as any car on the track. Tim Fedewa is working his way to the front.
That just goes to show you what good preparation will do for you. I know a lot of times we used to take a backup car for granted. We would just put something in the truck as a backup car, but these guys obviously has got a good race car that they had for a backup.
There's Dave Blaney now in the 93, that red, white, and blue car outside of Tony Stewart in 10th. That's another of the cars that was demolished in yesterday's accident. Having to roll out the backup was Bill Davis's racing team.
I'm looking at Tony Stewart's car. It looks like maybe he's lost the handle on that car just a little bit. If anything, it's dropping back through the field right now. And you know Tony Stewart, he don't do that unless something's wrong.
And this is for the lead right here.
It did take Dale Jr. but about 8 or 10 laps to chop off that 2 seconds that Presley pulled away from him.
Well, Steve Park told him, he said, you won't love the way this car drives. But
Oh, he gets into it there, down in the middle of turn 3 and 4. Presley retaliated just a little bit. Meanwhile, Joe Nemechek has got into the battle here, pulling up on the back bumper of Robert Presley.
So the new leader here at lap number 91, Dale Earnhardt Jr. muscling his way past Robert Presley. Nemechek third, but here comes Elliott Sadler in that black number 66. Fedewa is in 5th spot. Atwood is 6th. Purvis 7th. Keller is 8th. Blaney is 9th. Tony Stewart is 10th. Mike McLaughlin is 11th. Dick Trickle is 12th.
oh, close and close coming off there. You can see Elliott Sadler all over the back of Nemechek's car down the front straightaway.
David Green, meanwhile, meanwhile, has just taken the car that Derek Cope normally drives behind the wall, and the hood is up. They use the quarter-mile inside track as their garage area. Now with Derek getting banged up at Atlanta, David Green driving this weekend with the car now behind the wall.
Eli, see the little green fluorescent tape pieces that's there on the front? We talked about Dale Earnhardt Jr. now maybe needing to pull some tape off of their front end. What those are pull tabs. That way it's easy for a crew member to grab that tape and pull it off without trying to pull it off the front end itself.
He's going to put it down there where they'll have to dig it off in a second if he gets any closer there to Nemechek as they go through the corner. That's not 1 inch between the two cars.
That's Blaze Alexander in the 20. Kevin Schwantz in the 88. They're battling for 26th position. We take you further back there in the battle. That blue and green car behind them was Mark Green. And there's Randy LaJoy as we show you some of the other names and faces that we've not talked much about yet today. The 74 LaJoy. He's running in 20th, and that right behind him is in 21st place, the battle. Mike Cope in the 30. Tracy Leslie in the 63. Stanton Barrett in the 89. And they're running back in 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd spot as we're on board now with Kevin LePage. And there's Casey Atwood making the inside pass on Elliott Sadler. You hate to look away for a second.
Casey Atwood dropped back a little bit on his pit stops. These guys are not familiar with making pit stops every week. He dropped back to a 6, but he's working his way back to the front right now.
Now we told you David Green took the car that Derek Cope normally drives behind the wall. Let's get an update from the garage.
Well, he's just fired it up after a carburetor exchange. That was the problem. He was fluttering, couldn't get it fixed. Brought it back here and changed the carburetor. He's going back out. Of course, they're not running all the races, but he's going to try and log as many laps as he can today.
Now here goes Atwood. This is the 3rd place against Nemechek.
Right down on the bottom of the track. You can see that yellow line that divides the flat part of the...
That's really a good shot of just how soft they run these cars here, buddy. See how
Wow,
far
this
the tire
track
goes up
gets
in the
racy, huh?
How close the rocker panel gets to the racetrack. Really try to run a car soft spring-wise here.
It looks like a fun track to race.
To get forward right up off the corner, and also the maximum push down on the tires in the corner to make them stick to the racing surface.
Kind of like an oval Bristol.
NASCAR timing and scoring across the top of the screen. Casey Atwood, who was our Bud Pole sitter, now running in 3rd. And actually, if you're curious, he is faster than the leader on the clocks. And that's a battle for Purvis in the 4. Dave Blaney in the 93. That's 8th place.
Well, you can see the tachometer there. He's turning 8,300 down the front straightaway. These cars really rip it out here. These 9-to-1 compression engines, everybody says you don't need to turn them like a Winston Cup car, but that was 8,300 down that front stretch.
The red car you see up there, that's Jason Keller, and he started back in the 26th position, already worked his way up to 7th. You got to get a call to him, hunting that sponsor, just can't quite get the sponsor he needs, but just keeps coming back and running good every week.
He even got bent up just a bit in that accident back on lap number 4.
Hello, guys.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. is the race leader in the 3. Trying to put Matt Hutter yet another lap down.
Trying to send her up.
Still in the early stages here in Nashville. A threat of rain in the area, heavily overcast day. But we are glad you're with us on TNN. We're coming right back.
Drivers,
Pull
race
this
teams,
closer
and race
so we
fans.
don't have to,
The 1998
hunch
Team
over.
Simpson Racing Catalog is now available. For more information, call 1-800-71-RACIN or visit the Simpson
wanna pull
website
it
at
off of the
simpsonraceproducts.com and join Team Simpson today.
Back in Nashville under caution. That man right there, Stanton Barrett, had a problem on lap number 107. Let's take you
I've
back
heard
a
his
couple of
name
laps
come
ago.
up now and then. There in the Mooresville area,
Turn 2.
too. He's still banging
Yeah, Stanton
around.
Barrett spins there. He might have had a little bit of help from the 40 car there.
Kevin LePage was right behind him, though. It was clearly tough to tell on that replay whether there was contact or not. Here's from our backstretch speed camera. Sliding your way. Caution for the 3rd time this afternoon, lap 107. Nobody has
dirty
made a
track
pit stop
full of
among the
rubber
lead
there.
cars. Randy Porter is in among those who are laps down. with a little chill in the air here in Nashville.
Race fans, you make the call. New LCI residential long-distance customers receive 30 minutes of free domestic calling and the World Card Plus calling card featuring participating drivers. Don't delay. Call now 1-888-TEAM-LCI.
We are about a half lap away from going back to green. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is the race leader just behind the pace car. Let's get an update from his pit area.
Eli, Tony Uri Sr., the crew chief, has been coaching Dale Jr. about not jumping the restart too quick, not spinning his tires. He said, remember, we had the same problem with Steve Park last year, so don't try to jump the restart.
Now we'll see whether he is a good student here at the restart. Wrapping up caution flag number 3 of the afternoon. Green is in the air. Nice and smoothly, he pulls away from Casey Atwood in second, Robert Presley in third.
He accomplished exactly what he wanted to accomplish. Get a good restart, jump that inside car, getting into turn 1, but yet get Casey Atwood tied up there.
The lap cars started on the inside line up front in the past, and they have to race to get their lap back. The lucky dog was actually a really good idea because it was dangerous. It was always sketch on the starts when you had slower cars mixed in.
In the 47. And there's 44, Tony Stewart. The 00 is Buckshot Jones. He's in 13th, Randy.
The lap cars are less experienced. They're starting up front with the racy guys. Like you got Santerre there, and he's an excellent driver from the New England area in Busch North, but he's racing up front with some experience, which shows he can do it. Others might not be so lucky. This guy's more experienced than most. I had to force myself to get up and stream a little bit this morning. That's why we're doing a short one. Got a lot going on.
You know, Phil first ran here. He ran the last NASCAR Winston Cup race that was ever run here at Nashville Speedway, USA. Bill Parsons also finishing third here a couple of years ago. He won a NASCAR Goodies Dash Series race here when they used to call it the Baby Grand Division. So that goes back a few years.
Eli, this racetrack was repaved just a few years ago, and I talked to Geoff Purvis and a lot of the guys that race here on a regular basis. They told me the racetrack is back like it used to be, where the guy really has to keep the car under him.
My mission today is to find out if Dad's with the 33 at this race. I mean, I can ask him. He'll totally remember if he was there, if he had to get out a backup car. So, those types of things. With a rollover crash in practice is not common. He'd remember if he was Gucci fans.
From behind on the last pit stop, Scotty Peace has a problem with his ankle. They're going to take him to a local hospital and check him out. And, again, they're going to have to replace the jack man on the floor car of Geoff Purvis.
Thanks for the update, Steve. As we see Nemechek and Elliott Sadler now running in 4th and 5th, respectively. And there goes Elliott to Joe's inside. This is for 4th.
98 was a big year for injuries.
While we watch
both
this,
in the
we'll
pits and in the cars.
Lead by 0.3 of a second. But there's Earnhardt Jr. closing right back into the corner.
You know, it looks to me like, Larry, that when Earnhardt gets about 10 laps or 15 laps into that race car right there, that he's picking it up. He does not have to run the very bottom of the racetrack to get the maximum out of the car. He can let it drift up like he's doing right there and still keep up with the guy that's handling well.
We hear a lot about this in Winston Cup and BUSCH National. What he's got, it's a low snout car. The pivot points on the front end are down low. It's got a lower CG, a lower center of gravity, a lower roll center. And what that's good for a short track like this. But it's a characteristic that has always been a part of this low snout car. It takes it several laps to get going after a caution.
There goes the 30th place runner, Mike Dillon, a lap down. And the number 72, the Detroit Gasket car. So now 29 teams remaining on the lead lap as Atwood tries to cover the spot.
Dad worked on that team winter of 95 to spring of 96 at 72 with Dillon.
He feels the pressure of Earnhardt just behind him there.
Let's not forget Purvis and Phil Parsons. They're running for 12th. Sterling Marlin in the 1 car right behind them, all battling for position. Phil Parsons in the 10, Purvis in the 4 as you ride with Phil Parsons.
And just behind those cars there, the one you see the nose keeps sticking out, that's Chad Chaffin. He's on the move also.
That's right, he's up to 15th now in the 84.
He was running in the top 5 earlier, and just by virtue of a crowded pit road, maybe a pit crew that's not used to making these type of pit stops, he really slid backwards. Now he's working his way back to the front.
Sterling Marlin in the 1. That is not his
Must
car
be raining, right?
or a Sapco car. That's Mac Martin's
We have a
machine.
small leak above the shower
Sterling is driving here
skylight,
today.
and I was hearing that drip.
That is Chad Chaffin.
Saw Tony Glover this morning. A lot of Sterling's Winston Cup crew come up to pit this race car today.
I've got so much I've got to get done too.
And the battle for
While I'm
position, that's for
listening.
14th spot. Chad Chaffin against Geoff Purvis. As you ride with Purvis.
I was going to start wondering if you're not Chris is sleeping and he needs his sleep. You've been up for like 3 days figuring this all out.
Chaffin's junkyard right off the turn, right over that corner.
Don't know if
When
you
he
folks
wakes
can
up,
see
we'll
it on
go
the
for
right rear of Sterling's car, right behind or underneath the word Coors there. You see that little orange sticker right on the right and left rear. You see it right there under the word Coors. That says Cunningham Chevrolet. And those of you who remember when Cuckoo Marlin ran, Cunningham Kelly Chevrolet, well, that's the same guy, H.B. Cunningham, who dates back with the family to 1968 when he came forward in 68 as Cunningham Kelly Chevrolet. He really kept Cuckoo Marlin in business. Cuckoo's got out of money at that point. And, of course, he was a track champion here. Sterling Marlin was a track champion here. I don't believe Hugh LaFay ever won the championship here, but everybody else in the family has. Well, yeah, it's great to see old H.B. Cunningham still hanging with that team. We're at lap 132. Casey Atwood leads Dale Earnhardt Jr. A lot of good battles on the racetrack. We'll be back to him in a second. That is Casey Atwood on the left of the screen. And the 28, the 59, Robert Presley is in second. That's the
I
battle
didn't
for
realize
the lead
it
as they work
until
around Ed
I have to
Barrier's
look back
number
and see
7.
if that.
Welcome back live to Nashville on TNN. Eli Gold.
They've had quite a few good shots in the 33 pit, so I'll be able to see who's running well. Kind of looked like Tim's friend that was his lifetime crew chief was there.
And the reason is he gets through traffic so very well. He's run down to less than a car length now.
They're working around race traffic. Stanton Barrett is there, and Steve Presley's trying. Just can't get around with race traffic.
I forget his name, but
Yeah, but I just talked to his crew chief, Steve Plattenberger, and he said
went
that Robert
racing
is
with him
actually
early.
being patient right now. He's going to let everybody
I'm gonna
else
go
wear
off
their
screen
tires
a
out.
minute
Remember,
so I can
Robert
stretch.
Presley grew
My
up
back's
racing
getting
on the
knotted
short
out.
tracks in Asheville, North Carolina. His best finish this year is
And I'm gonna
17th.
keep looking to see if Dad is on there.
You know, I was just watching Robert Presley, and Steve is exactly right. He is taking his time. I saw him put his hand up, even though he's making a run for the lead down the back straightaway there, going to the front side of the racetrack. You can see him waving to Dale Earnhardt Jr. to be patient, put his hand up.
I'm still here in the chat.
You follow me through.
And it works right there as you get Robert Presley in the 59 car grabbing the lead. Atwood again in the 28 got caught behind Shane Hall's 85 car. Now here comes Earnhardt right behind to try and grab second, but he can't quite do it.
This is a replay of what we saw earlier, I think, when Casey caught a lot of lap traffic. Same thing's happening. That experience happen here.
So Robert Presley leads at lap 144. They've gone around the 32 of Jason Jarrett. What's that hanging off the back of Jimmy Foster? Look at that 50 car right there, middle of the screen.
That is a piece of the bumper, it looks like. It's hanging off. What happened there? Somebody kind of... Yeah, that's nothing to worry about there. That's a very soft piece.
I've seen Junior Johnson rip those off cars single-handedly.
Well, I've seen him jerk a regular bumper off, so that's nothing.
There you go.
A chrome bumper.
146 laps on the board of 320. Robert Presley with the challenge on Kevin LePage. That's 26th place LePage going a lap down there in the 40 car.
You see Casey Atwood right there in his tire.
Look at Earnhardt going high, guys, in the 3. Something's wrong there.
He's got a flat tire, I believe. I believe he's got a flat tire.
He had bumped the wall, apparently.
Well, the right sides are up.
Eli, I think he just got up on the high side of the racetrack there and got in all the rubber dust and everything, and the car swept right out into the wall.
But he definitely hit the wall.
All 4 tires look up, certainly. Tough break there for Dale Earnhardt Jr. Meanwhile, the 4 car, Geoff Purvis, about to go a lap down in 25th position.
Now, what I was saying, if Casey Atwood can get right behind Robert Presley, he'll go to school and keep himself in contention to win this race.
Clear.
Listening to Geoff Purvis's radio.
Don't get up there. You'll do the same thing that Earnhardt did. Casey Atwood got
Trouble. Matt Hutter in the 36. Caution on the speedway.
Keep going, keep going, keep going. Go, Joe, go. Those fuckers ain't in front of us.
Leader now has the caution. Lap 152 as Matt Hutter went around.
I saw Joe Nemechek very slow also. He was involved in that spin there.
Matt Hutter, you're looking at there, has finished 21st, 19th, and 29th this year.
I never got hit there, fortunately.
I don't know what's
That's
up with the
Hutter's
audio.
radio saying he never got hit.
Do you run into or you just spin around? I just try to get underneath that guy and just come around. Still loose off the corner? It's tight in the middle and loose off. But probably the loose off is even worse. I can't really use the throttle very good.
What he's saying there is it's not turning in the middle of the corner, but the minute he goes to pick the throttle back up, he can't apply the throttle because the rear wheels is just spinning.
Of course, Matt Hutter, son of noted engine builder Ron Hutter, who was his son's spotter during the races. Meanwhile, Joe Nemechek, as we look with him right now, driving the Bell South mobility car. He was right there in the midst of that. Now running in 6th.
Kind of a cool looking customer sitting there, just kind of reached up, wiped his face.
We'll bust their ass.
Live television.
For those of you who are not racing literate, that means they will have a good pit stop.
Exactly. That's just another way of putting it.
All right, the stall behind and in front of us are going to be open, so we'll be all right.
152 laps on the board of 320. The last time all the leaders pitted was lap 73. So we're roughly 80 laps further down the road now. Here they come. Steve Burns, to your attention.
And Robert Presley had a tremendous pit stop 85 laps ago. Let's see if they can duplicate that feat. They're going to take 4 tires on Tadka Schichter's Chevrolet of Robert Presley. 4 tires of fuel. They will not make any adjustments. A little bit of problem on the right.
No kidding, Tad bought that team for a bit. What?
And Dale Jarrett's in as well. We'll go to Randy Pemberton.
Well, the youngster overshot his pit. That's going to cost him a couple of seconds. The nose is buckled in on the AC Delco Chevrolet. 1 tire almost gets away. Expect 4 tires up and down pit road for everybody. Joe Nemechek pits in front of him. He's down and away. They're now on the left side. Good pit stop so far, with the exception of the junior overshooting his pit. Of course, he did shoot up the racetrack there a few laps ago. He just got up in the marbles. He had it in reverse. Now he backs it up. So the only place this kid has problems with still today is in and out of pits.
Of course, the reference there was back to Daytona International Speedway, where they had problems in the 300-lapper or 300-miler during speed weeks on the pit lane. We're coming right back. TNN Motorsports Motorsports live coverage of the Bell South Mobility Opryland 320 is being brought to you by Super 8 Motels, over 1,600 throughout Canada and the United States. And by Rogaine, the only product medically proven to regrow hair for men and women. Field now getting the 1-to-go signal here at Nashville Speedway, USA, as we take you back again to the problems that happen in turn number 2. Matt Hutter.
See Nemechek on the very bottom of the racetrack, avoiding getting involved here, just gets by.
You had heard Matt Hutter tell his crew that he was a little bit loose off the corner, and that's right at the exit of the corner. Got underneath the car, and it just come around with him. See, he's already sideways there, down and coming off turn 2. Joe Nemechek just barely getting by.
You can see the brake smoking on Nemechek's car, getting just barely by.
Right in front of you. Go, 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 go. Oh, keep going, keep going, keep going. Go, Joe, go.
Joe Nemechek's spotter telling him right in front of you, stop, now go, go, go.
Moments ago, Stevie Reeves took his car behind the wall, an overheating problem, though they seem to be ready to get back onto the racetrack. But the Curb Records entry will lose at least 5 laps in that exchange for repairs as we're back to work here. Lap 157. Now, make a note of the fact that the 99, Glenn Allen Jr., is ahead of the pack right now. While most everybody else made pit stops for 4 tires, some made 2 and a 2-tire change, and in this instance, none at all. Randy, what's the deal down there?
Well, he is one of those cars that is pitting with another car that's on his lap. They said they have had trouble with the 8 car wanting to get into their pit stall first, even if the 99 was ahead of them, basically. So, John Monson
This
said,
is a really great race. These guys really dice it up, but there's enough room to do it clean.
Oh, an interesting bit of strategy that we talked to you about at the very get-go of the broadcast. The 8 car being Bobby Hillin Jr. And there you see how some of the fellas came onto the pit lane and how they exited. And there's Kevin Schwantz going high, and he's got some paint, if nothing else, on those right side tires.
You can see the concrete dust on the tires where he got up into the outside wall.
Former motorcycle rider, a great motorcycle champion, Kevin Schwantz. 59 the leader, Robert Presley. Right behind him, Casey Atwood in the white car. He is going for the lead.
Guess what his favorite pastime is?
Racing?
Computer racing.
Really?
You got it right there. I'll tell you what, whatever it is, he's training in the right house because he really loves it. And you can see this kid is really, really ahead of his time right now. He's able to manage not to get in a hurry, not to run up there and maybe bump into the 59 car Presley. He's doing a great job today.
You and I spent a lot of time talking to
1998 must have been NASCAR 98 game, computer racing. He must have been. That's the first time I've mentioned that in connection to real racing on a broadcast that I've
And that
caught.
is saying a lot, believe me, because David Pearson won 105 Winston Cup races, and for that kid to be even a reminder that he might even someday be a David Pearson type driver, that's saying a bunch.
Really is. Great battle side by side, not for position right now, but good side-by-side racing nevertheless. Back up front still, Atwood and Robert Presley. The DeWalt car right behind, not on the lead lap. Hermie Sadler's had problems today and thought he'd gotten the lap back earlier from an accident, or at least from a racetrack position situation. Didn't get the lap back. He's running in 24th right now. 88 Kevin Schwantz, having just rubbed the wall as we showed you.
Looking at that 28, last year that car finished 4th with Geoff Purvis driving it. Casey Atwood was very lucky to be able to get into a race car that has at least 320 laps of racing on it. They could go back to that as he tries to take over the lead, Eli.
Got a good bite off of turn 4 right there as they head off into turn 1. Can he hold that bottom line? Beat him down the back straightaway. Presley gets a good run, that high line off of turn 2. Takes the lead back, heads ahead down the back stretch into turn 3.
I love short track racing. I really do. You know, you talk to these guys, half the time at this racetrack, you're cursing somebody under your breath.
Well, he better curse him in a hurry, because that Casey Atwood right now, he realized he didn't get the run up off the corner on the inside. He fell in behind Presley, then went in high in the next corner. Look at this. He takes the lead.
He cleared him down the backstretch into turn 3.
So Casey Atwood takes over the top spot again. You know, the other half of the time when you're not cursing somebody, you're apologizing to somebody under your breath here. How about Blaney right there with the Dick Trickle calling card?
Dave Blaney will learn you don't mess with Dick Trickle. Not 3 wide down in the corner there.
See Jimmy Foster getting a little nudge there, getting sideways, but gathered back up. Tracy Leslie trying to work his way to the front from almost starting dead last on the field.
Tracy in the 63, Joe Bessie in the 6.
Randy Porter there in the 48. He's doing a great job today. He hadn't run all year long. It's his first start. Doing a pretty good job in the 48.
That is Randy Porter right there. Further to the front, there goes Dick Trickle inside of Glenn Allen Jr. So give Dick Trickle another spot in the 64. He's up to 17th position now.
See that 99 car there, Glenn Allen, you know, that's a lot of laps on those tires. I know they tried to stay out. I know what John was trying to accomplish there, but that's a lot of laps to try to run against those fresh tires. We got a car in the wall.
Shane Hall is spun up in the middle of turn 3.
Oh my.
Speedway, 5th time today.
Hard to push. Okay, slow him down. He's coming down the middle. He's clear now. He's clear. Go high.
Oh, don't back up too much.
Shane Hall brings out the caution at lap 172. And caution is out for the 5th time.
Good opportunity
today.
for me to show you this live. This is live.
With engine problems. The graduate from the NASCAR Slim Jim All Pro Series. Apparently done for the afternoon.
Constant, this is where they raced on the beach. This right here, if you look on the right side, they parked right here. The car, the tide goes a little bit lower and it reveals more sand, but this is starting to come back. But I think that the sun is almost going to rise there. Looks the same as it did in racing days, didn't it? I want them to scan the beach course, the old beach course, where they come around the corner off the main road, and, you know, A1A, and around the corner and up the road and back up to the road. They could do it. See, it's not habitable. Down by the lighthouse. Yeah, the sun's coming up. We want to see the sunrise. I'll back up the racing thing. It's just about the sunrise.
He's gathered all the headlines this weekend. He won the Bud Pole, and there is a closer look
at the young
man from here in Music City.
I thought it was like within like just a minute of sunrise, so I wanted to grab it, and I guess I was right, because see, it is sunrise. It's just coming through all them clouds, but it's a red sky in the morning. Sailor take warning. That's what we were always taught, like in the northern whaling folklore. There we go. Fishermen out there early. Pretty cool stuff. Sunrise and sunrise.
After about 10 laps, he's not real fast on the get-go, but he's doing a great job. Riding with Joe Nemechek down into turn 1. You can see he's middle way of the bottom and second lane there. That's a good shot through that corner and down the back straightaway.
Haven't talked about Mike McLaughlin much today, and there he is now in 4th place. That white car with the blue sides. That's a new car for the weekend. They had a brand spanking new car that got used up in that accident yesterday. Shortly after 9 o'clock in the morning, they rolled out the backup, and the backup running like the primary car.
Doing a great job, and just behind him, Jason Keller. I hadn't seen him in the top 5 this year. Doing a great job today.
That's he in the 57, Elliott Sadler in the 66 right behind. All battling for position. For Jason Keller.
Absolutely, and I want to see somebody sponsor him again. He was with the company that went on to another sponsorship this year, but I'd love to see Jason Keller stay. He's the kind of young man we need in this sport.
Red Sadler getting underneath that quarter panel off turn 2, but falls back in behind down the backstretch.
They're still eavesdropping on Joe Nemechek's radio.
Inside, looking inside.
He's talking about Mike McLaughlin.
Mike McLaughlin pulls it down to the bottom there on the exit. Just can't quite get enough to get by him down those straightaways. Joe's definitely handling down the straightaways right now.
Yeah, he's got a good car. McLaughlin's a little bit better in the corner, but down the straightaway, you can see Nemechek has a great car.
Buddy Baker has won here in the past. Ran here 13 times. Is this an easy or a tough short track as short tracks go, buddy?
It was a very tough racetrack for me because you had to use a lot of tire management. And as anybody knows my career, I didn't manage tires very well. It was like talking about saving gas to me. I didn't know much about that either.
Yet 6 top 10s. Yet 6 top 10s and 13 starts here. Not too shabby at all.
Well, I had an advantage when I won. I had Harry Hyde in my background there as crew chief. One of the better setup men in all of racing. That's the reason I won. It wasn't because of anything I did that day.
NASCAR timing and scoring presented by MCI, keeping you updated on the situation for all of the favorites out there on the racetrack.
Joe Nemechek, I believe they've lost the handle on that race car a little bit ago there. You see Jason Keller moving underneath him as they come off turn 4, head off into turn 1. Right at his rear quarter panel. When you get that far on him, buddy, ain't a whole lot you can do.
I'm watching Elliott Sadler, the black car there with the 66 all over it. I'm telling you, that car is working high side and low side. You can see him trying to get by Keller on the outside as they come off the corner there.
All of this at lap 187.
This can't last here. Somebody's got to do something pretty quick. You can't run lap after lap side by side.
We'll stay with this battle, but we'll tell you Casey Atwood now by a second has a lead over Robert Presley.
You can see him fighting the wheel there as he started off the corner. The car jumped a little sideways.
Saw him yank it back to the right.
That's all Jason Keller needed to take that spot. That's a red car just in front of him.
Here comes Tim Fedewa trying to duplicate that same deal.
Pull inside.
Fedewa finished 3rd here last year.
Hang on.
Steve, what are you hearing from Joe Nemechek's bunch?
Well, I just talked to his crew chief, Brian Patty, and he made a very simple hand signal that told the story. He pointed towards the right with his hand to the wall. That car is pushing, and that's why cars are going past him.
There goes Elliott Sadler doing exactly the same. So Nemechek now back to 7th. And Joe just confirms what Steve told us.
You're doing good. 20-30.
People don't understand when they push a lot of time. You see a guy jerk the wheel to the right, that would indicate that the car was loose. But what happens is the front tires are sliding across the racetrack, and when it does go up sideways, you have to correct back to the right.
You know, buddy, with the radial tire, what I've learned, you can't turn the wheel more and make it turn. You finally just got to slow the car down and finally get the front wheels to bite.
That's it.
There's 8th place now. Sterling Marlin in the 1, Randy LaJoy in the 74. A lot of interesting stories in that 74 team here over the last little bit. For the first $2 million winner in NASCAR Busch Series history. Randy LaJoy had used K-Tech engines all along, then switched to T&L engines for Atlanta. Today they're back to K-Tech, and they're talking about using the T&L engines at Darlington next week. That's for Randy LaJoy. And meanwhile, up front, there's the spread. That's what now 0.8 of a second looks like from that man Atwood back to the 2nd place runner, Robert Presley. He started on the Bud pole, has led a number of different times today. We're coming back to Nashville. Welcome back, everybody. You watch 6th, 7th, and 8th place being battled for on the racetrack. Joe Nemechek, Tim Fedewa, Randy LaJoy.
Jeff's trying very hard, but that car is off right now. He cannot hold on. It's pushing up out of the corner, as he said just a few seconds ago. And boy, when that happens, everybody jumps on you.
Taking a look at the speed numbers right
Dad
now.
worked with all three drivers at various times that they just had in that photograph. It's kind of cool.
That's where it translates right there in the corners.
You see Randy LaJoy there. I was clocking him before he caught this route right here. He was about a tenth
He
of a
worked
second
with
quicker than the
Nemco
leader right now,
Motorsports
Casey
from
Atwood. Of course, once you catch the traffic there, it
91
slows you
until
down.
94.
Working on the back bumper of his teammate, Tim Fedewa.
And I believe my dad's with Fedewa now, the way that car is running.
These guys have found something out about making these cars get around here.
But,
LaJoy was good in practice.
you know, Tim also had that friend of his that was pretty good at setup too. And then Randy LaJoy's got Bertie setting up his car there. Dad worked with LaJoy, I believe, at Moroso.
Finished third, and the top two finishers from
wanna
last
say.
year are not here today. Steve Park, Jeff Green.
But see, like Bertie might be a crew chief, and Dad would help him at
Buddy, you
different
watch cars
times.
go through the corner here at Nashville. We keep talking about this. It's like there's not
But we all grew up in the same area with Bertie.
They'll change their line as to the characteristics of the
Massachusetts,
race car and still be successful how they get around the racetrack.
I met Bertie, or knew who Bertie was, when he was helping out in the local race shops, just as a kid. He was like 15, 16 years old, out there helping the local races.
He'll go down the back straightaway. He'll probably move to the inside to get his eyes off of him just a little bit, or even to the outside there. He's making him wonder, where is he going to try to get by?
Base Motorsports, the ownership group for both the 33 of Fedewa and the 74 of LaJoy. When Buddy talks about them being teammates, for those of you who might not follow the NASCAR Busch Series, that's what we're speaking of. Lap 204 of 320. I'll tell you, this race is zipping right along. 5 cautions today, 14 in the event a year ago. And there's Casey Atwood, and he was off pace there. Atwood is the race leader, bypassed there by Robert Presley. They got caught up with Mike McLaughlin and some others. Patty Moise there, the 14, just ahead.
Yeah, the car is still clean, so he didn't get into the wall or anything.
Let's watch it again and see if we can pinpoint what might have happened there going down the backstretch.
Well, that's Casey Atwood in the 28 there. Jimmy Foster in the 50. You can see Patty Moise. He just got into the loose stuff. In a second, we'll get a shot coming off the turns here. The rubber is really balled up all around as you start.
That's what I was noticing earlier. It was extremely dirty.
Sure did, Eli. I just talked to Dennis Adcock. Adcock says he told Casey, just get your rhythm back. It's okay. You have to remember, this is a long race for Casey Atwood. He's used to running 50 lappers, and on the rare occasion here at Nashville, 125 laps. So he's just going to settle him back down, get him back into his rhythm.
And there goes the leader, Robert Presley, right by the Bobby Hillin car. You see that purple number 8 there. That's Bobby Hillin Jr. Who does that remind you of, guys? Marty Robbins' car.
Yeah,
when Marty ran here.
Exactly.
I saw Marty Robbins' car at a car show about 2 years ago. I took photos of it and videos.
Here in Nashville.
It was
See
pretty.
Mike McLaughlin moving on the high side there. He's the third place car right now.
I really think the base motorsports team had such good people. I mean, you hear the stories of how they yell at each other, whatever, you know, Bill Bumgarner and Bertie and all the. I just saw them win all the time, and like my dad will have 2 wins in '98 with the Kleenex team as crew chief, actually, which is cool. But it's in the books that way.
We are all being treated to a magnificent battle for the lead.
But I noticed a lot of the records that just say that they were the crew chief for the whole season. Sometimes they break them down onto when they left. Like I know of certain incidences that I've seen from watching
Randy Pemberton's been watching all of this from Robert Presley's pit.
these races. It's putting the timeline together where they'll actually say such and such crew chief left, and you know, so-and-so is turning the wrenches on this car this week, or whatever like that. And that's basically how my dad was most of the time, was a suitcase Jake kind of guy, where he jumped from, you know, team to team, doing consulting and helping them with his notes and setting up front ends and whatever. But this year, when he does get with Fedor, he's strictly with Fedor. Like if he was a crew chief, he wasn't then bouncing around helping everybody. He was, of course, always there for advice. Like they all helped each other, you know. They really all, the teams really did help each other a lot behind the scenes.
I think early in the day, Atwood might have gotten caught in behind those guys in traffic. He seems to have picked up the traffic and the big car situation here pretty well.
Boy, he's just doing a super job. It's like he's raced these cars for 15 years. But I'm looking at Jason Keller. He has moved into 4th place there and just doing a wonderful job. The number 57 car there has not run worth a hoot all year, but he's letting her rip today.
And for years he had that Slim Jim sponsorship on his car. It's gone this year. He finished 16th at Daytona, 10th at Rockingham, 33rd at Las Vegas. Really needs a good run here, but how about Casey?
Oh, don't do it! Oh, good save.
Good nice save, but it'll cost him a good bit. But again, as well as he's driving, he ought to be able to get back. What did that do to the tires, though?
As long as he didn't slide them. I don't know if he abused them too bad right there. He did fall back to 4th position. There you see Elliott Sadler behind him there, the 66 car. That's the 5th place car. Just, again, he needs to get back in his groove. He didn't lose that much ground. There you see he's just behind the 3rd place car there. So I think he'll be in good shape. This is a pass for the lead off turn 4 here. Mike McLaughlin falls back in line as they head down the front stretch.
McLaughlin's had a great run today. That's a backup car yesterday. Was involved in a wreck on the back straightaway. Tore his primary car up. They went right to work on it, changed seats, and here he is right up front trying to win this race.
Here goes Mike, who was the pole sitter at Daytona during Speed Weeks in the Napa Auto Parts 300. Ernie Sadler gets out of the way in the 29. We are at lap 227. Going to lap 320. 93 laps to go.
Here comes McLaughlin. Now he has the preferred line right on the bottom, but you can watch Robert Presley. That is a guy that knows how to run short track.
Well, Robert's a veteran, obviously.
He gives you enough to get in the corner, but not enough to really make a run on him.
Grand total of 10 victories in this division for Robert Presley. Last one, though, was back in New Hampshire in 1993, so it's been a while.
Oh, we got lap traffic in there side by side coming off turn 2.
Again, Bobby Hillman, you saw him waving. He's out of the way. Slowing down, McLaughlin sneaks on by, grabs the lead. And gets tagged by Robert Presley.
How's your goldfish swim?
This is short track
like
racing
that.
right here.
Lap 230, it swaps around. Robert Presley now settling down in second. Randy, I'll tell you, it took a while, but McLaughlin's bunch obviously has gotten that car awfully nicely dialed in.
Oh, man, they've done a heck of a job on this car. I can tell you, they about came out of their skin when Presley got into him coming off before here, and they were doing a little pointing up towards the 59 pit. Made a little gesture to the NASCAR official, but they're all calm and cool. They think they got a car that can want to win this thing, and Presley coming back again.
They've got Porter's car, the 48. They've got Jason Jarrett, the 32. Lapped cars right there. Watch this deal again if you missed it seconds ago. Coming to the stripe.
Okay, Randy Porter's just in front of him. I think McLaughlin may have. Oh!
You stick a Mike? You see Mike stick his hand out the window?
Yeah, he says, buddy, I didn't like that at all.
I don't think he was saying, come on, follow me, was
No.
And there goes another swap right there. Randy LaJoy.
Wow, these guys getting crazy, aren't they? It's a great race. What a great little track. I never actually sat and watched
Yeah, there's no turn
a race from Nashville.
So that's the only way you can let a guy know when you're not happy.
Like I said, when I went to move and went to the woods, I didn't watch much racing.
Mike McLaughlin leads,
But
Robert Presley second, Jason
where I'm
Keller
going
is
now,
third.
we have internet there. I've found a video where we're going, of the town we're going, and it's from pretty recent, so like a year ago, so it'll give you the idea, and it updated me on what's going on with a lot of stuff, so might be a good decision.
That was lap times. You could hear the spotters giving 2040. That's pretty quick at this stage of the race.
Now the pole speed was a 19.19. That was a 20.40 second lap.
You see Buck's out there, you know, we talked about him earlier. One thing he's got going for him, guys, he's got some confidence. He come in here third in the points, but theoretically he come in here the points leader because Mark Martin and Geoff Burton, who was 1 and 2 in the points, are not here.
Right. And Buckshot knows this track. He first raced here in the NASCAR Slim Jim All-Pro Series back numbers of years ago. There is the leading machine, Mike McLaughlin, by 1 7/10 seconds. As there's a car spinning in the corner with caution, we'll tell you when we come back. Dale Park. TNN Motorsports live coverage of the Bell South Mobility Opryland 320 is being brought to you by the more than 1,900 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. That is Phil Parsons' car. What remains of it after a wild crash up there in turn 3. There is Blaze Alexander's nose, and we'll take a look at exactly what happened.
Holy smokes.
Up into the corner.
That's Phil Parsons up against the wall up there.
That's a heck of a
got
hit.
into the outside wall. You can see the fuel cell has moved all the way up under the car.
You saw who had to get on the bottom of the racetrack, didn't you, buddy, and go by him, the leader.
Mike McLaughlin. And there is Blaze Alexander, the graduate from the ARCA Bondo Marhide Series from Montoursville, Pennsylvania. Mike McLaughlin's on pit road. Let's get an update.
Well, they're looking to go possibly 4 tires. Yes, they are. This will be the stop, everybody. The first car off of pit road will have the best track position with only 79 laps to go. They want to get out of here with a good, clean stop, and it's been a great stop. Left side's a little slow, so he can possibly beat out on pit road. Steve Burns.
And Casey Atwood is in front of Elliott Sadler. This is a great break for Casey. His tires were gone. He's on 88 laps on that set of tires. Dennis Adcock's crew is going to change 4, and they're trying to calm him down. This could be a huge break for Casey Atwood. Elliott Sadler beats him out of the pits right in front of Casey Atwood. They're having a problem on the left rear. Oh, he's going to lose all kinds of position on pit road.
Well, tough break there. The left rear was a lengthy stop. So we are under caution. Phil Parsons' day is done. Dennis Adcock's hopes his team's is not.
The person I was thinking that lost his life
Welcome
was
back, everybody,
Grant.
to Nashville
Grant
Speedway
Adcock.
USA under caution. And now let's watch what
Might
happened
be a
to Phil
totally
Parsons'
different
car from
family.
the view he had heading up
Larry,
turn 2.
he's coming off turn 2. He gets a little nudge right there, gets sideways, goes down the back straightaway, turns in, another nudge. This one takes him out. Blaze Alexander, you can see he was very unhappy with that little move.
That was a hard hit, hard hit. This is coming off pit road. After the pit stop there, you see Robert Presley, Jason Keller getting in the back of him. Now, I don't think it was that Jason was speeding on pit road. Robert Presley's in pit 8. Jason Keller's all the way down in pit 21. Jason just had that speed built up when he got to Robert Presley.
And there's Blaze Alexander back in again while Phil Parsons' crew works right behind. While we have a timeout, let's give you the AutoZone Tech Fact, brought to you by the more than 1,900 AutoZone stores across America.
A lot of times during the race on pit road, you'll see teams' tire guys checking the wear on a tire. Now, this Goodyear tire will start with about 4/30 seconds of rubber. They'll take this little device here, and they'll go across the tire, seeing exactly how much the tire is wore. The question is, what can we learn from checking the wear on a tire? In practice, we'll pay close attention to the front tires, see how they're wearing across, and we can adjust the camber, and that will help the cornering ability of the front end on the racetrack. Now, obviously, once the race starts, we can't adjust the camber. So what can we learn by checking the wear during the race? We'll pay close attention to how the right side tires are wearing. If the right front's wearing more, that means the car is pushing or not turning. If the right rear's wearing more, that means it's loose in the rear end. This is just another thing we can monitor about tires besides air pressure and tire temperatures that will help us make the proper adjustments on pit stops during the race.
That is riding with Kevin LePage as we welcome you back to Nashville Speedway, USA. He is in 34th position in the channel lock entry. Hasn't had a vintage day. Of course, you can get all the scoring rundowns from NASCAR races if you want to get online. You can also get NASCAR information from country.com, your personal source for all things country. They've got race cars, country stars. Why not connect to
After this, I'm going to play that video that Gamer suggested because it's really cool. He had described it in the chat that the iRacing streamers got to play NASCAR 25, and in the end they got to ride
the rubber buildup and the debris on the outside of the groove. The groove is where the cars run and keep the surface
low
clean.
HP
But just
Xfinity
outside
car.
of there is a lot of problems. Off turn 2, you will be able to see up in this area, right in the
So I'll
top
play
part of the
that, and
racetrack,
then
the rubber buildup
after
up
that I'll
there,
play
just
this
like
video
you
I
couldn't believe
found.
this, I would say marble size
It was
pieces of
uploaded a
rubber
year
that get on the
ago.
high side, plus to all the dust
And
that is
I'll
swept up
comment
the
on this
racetrack.
because this
Pretty
is the
dangerous
town we're
when the cars
moving
get out
to,
there.
and I'll comment on stuff I might know
You turn
that
the wheel, nothing happened.
he may not
Here we
know.
go. Set to head
Being a
back to
tourist,
green, and you're right, getting up in
doing
the
a
marbles is no bargain.
doing a video. There's a lot of information, so he studied a lot on it, but there's some things I know just from living in town.
Mike McLaughlin, Robert Presley, Jason Keller, Elliott Sadler, Joe Nemechek, Randy LaJoy restarts 6th. Dale Earnhardt Jr. in 7th, Tim Fido 8th, Casey Atwood with a lengthier pit stop. He's in 9th. Sterling Marlin is 10th. Up front, the lead. Robert Presley.
Robert Presley's got a good car on restarts every time. Every time he took the lead today, it's been right as they dropped the green flag. Has a very good car at the very start. McLaughlin is fighting back, though. He's not giving up anything. These two had a little confrontation. One of those donuts on the right door there was put there by McLaughlin down the front straightaway not long ago.
These two cars pretty equal right here. There you see McLaughlin getting a little bit of advantage down the back stretch. Off into turn 3, up in the second groove. Got him cleared, pulls in front of him as they head down the front stretch.
Now the next car in line on purple car, Bobby Hill, and he is 4 laps down.
That example there of the last couple laps is how we were used to seeing Mike McLaughlin drive a modified. I mean, he was very smooth like that and could pass and race close without touching anybody. But that comes from those big wheels, you know, you can't touch each other. It really refines skills, in my opinion, for drivers if you run an open wheel tour mod or a smart tour mod. Teaches you skills that full body cars don't.
Really dogging him. Just a few inches off the back bumper through the corners. He's keeping the pressure on him. If he makes one slip, we'll have a new leader.
McLaughlin, last one in the series in June of last year at Watkins Glen.
Mike is the father of Max McLaughlin. If you look up him, he does a lot more dirt racing lately.
Yeah, you don't have to say a thing. You can tell. Boy, I mean, she is really keyed up. The girls watching the race have a lot tougher time than the guys out there doing the job. They're doing what they want to do, and they know they're doing, when it turns, it turns the way they want it to. The people on the truck, they can see things the boys in the cars can't see.
Lap 256. Presley's right there. Joe Nemechek is there, the 87. The 3 is Dale Earnhardt Jr. That's 5th, 6th, and 7th with Randy LaJoy in the mix also.
I would say that maybe the front end of the 3 car, Dale Earnhardt Jr., might have a little bit of damage advantage to it because he did hit the outside wall pretty hard, but he has soldiered all day and kept that car in contention.
Overcome a really bad pit stop early in the race, about mid-race, and then fought his way back there racing for 6th position.
Earnhardt Jr. powers by 10 feet off. There's Casey Atwood, the 28 again, running in 10.
Casey had a bad pit stop, had a left rear problem where they couldn't get the tire on the car, dropped way back. He's trying to fight his way back to the front, and one of the fastest cars all day.
And Chad Chaffin right behind them, running now, not on the lead lap, but at this moment, keeping up with the race leaders. Chaffin is 5 laps down in 31st position.
Got to be a thrill for that young guy running Sterling Marlin. Casey Atwood's racing with Sterling Marlin, as you see Earnhardt in them. But look at this fight right here. The winningest driver of all times at the Speedway, Sterling Marlin, with 51 victories, going against a young kid. Everybody says it's the next superstar.
He's a good one, no doubt about it. But Sterling, as you say, loves this track. He was on the pole here in 1996 for this race. Sterling Marlin was. Wrecked later in the day and wasn't around for the win, but and of course Mac Martin gives you a good race car. I mean, Larry Pearson's day, a lot of guys have driven that car so very well.
Absolutely, and Sterling said he just leased it for this race up here. It looks just like his Western Cup car minus the number 40 on the door.
Going to be interesting to see if we can keep the streak going. 6 years they've run this race. 6 different pole winners, 6 different race winners, and now the 7th different
Tim's
pole
a really
this year
tough
with
driver when he's on your bumper. He's pulling a lot of really good things to get in Joe's head. But Joe's experience, too. They're about the same history in the sport.
Kevin had problems off the corner, did a spin, continues her way.
At that point, they were both as experienced.
The laps winding their way towards a conclusion. We're coming right back.
Provided by Racing Radios. For all your business and racing communications needs, as well as scanners and frequency lists, call on Racing Radios at 1-800-669-1522.
Back live in Nashville. They are the front 5 in order. And yes, that is now Randy LaJoie in 3rd. Maybe the quickest man on the racetrack right now.
Definitely the best handling race car out there. He just puts it on the high side, low side. You can see right now he has moved in within a car length for 2nd place there. Robert Presley trying to high line now to see if the car works up there because he knows the bottom line is taken right now by the lead cars.
They're within sniffing distance of the win now. It's time to show what you got.
Yeah, if you're holding anything back, you may get to use it next week.
Next week is Darlington. That's the next stop for the NASCAR BUSCH Series. Robert Presley.
These two have already bumped one time today.
I can picture Robert's father in his ear saying, hit him, hit him.
There's people coming up right now.
No, that's against, like, modified code, like, totally.
Running the front bunch down. You can see right there, he's coming back.
He's in 6th position right now.
Change in the lead at lap 276. Robert Presley.
Well, not totally. And it's kind of, it's a last resort, last lap resort, maybe.
That's Jason Keller and Elliott Sadler again, 4th and 5th positions.
It was more a modified driver's style to go around on the outside rather than bump and try to get you out of the groove. They would get a run and take you on the outside, and etiquette would be that the inside driver gives you the outside lane. I mean, you know, that's how that works. And it would just, like, generally take 3/10 on the stopwatch to be able to pass somebody in that manner. So if you have 3/10 on the person, you deserve to pass them. It's kind of what would be in their brain. And they would just feel like they need to just work harder to go faster. Like the blocking stuff was, some drivers had that tendency, but not too many.
because there's no way he can hurt it.
I bet you can tell the noise level in there. And some pretty good scrambling there. Elliott Sadler and Jason Keller, 4th and 5th.
And Earnhardt's still coming on. He's picked this group up. You can see he's run them down 15 car lengths. Now he's right on the tail end there, Jason Keller.
It is only 2 1/10 seconds from the leader back to Dale Earnhardt Jr.
You know, I think what Steve Bird was talking about there, that it didn't use too much tire or too much car up too quick, was he was awfully fast. He was 3 or 4 tenths quicker than those guys when they went back racing with 70 to go. And I think Steve's hoping we didn't get the goodie out too fast.
I hear you. There's the interval from Presley back to this battle. That's for 5th place. Keller and Earnhardt. Presley working through traffic.
Heavy traffic.
Side of Mark Green. Closing in on Kevin Schwantz. Lyndon Amick will be next ahead of them to negotiate through. Closing in on the finish. Stick around. We're coming right back. TNN Motorsports live coverage of the Bell South Mobility Opryland 320 is being brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. At Napa, we keep America running. The leader, Robert Presley, in the 59 car, just working his way through a mess. Literally, he made it 3 wide here seconds ago to try and go around some folks. They have gotten around Randy Porter. It was a scary moment, but everybody got through cleanly.
I don't know who cringes the most on this deal, the guy driving the car or the crew chief working on it. You know you got to go. You can't be patient here. You've got just about 25 to 30 laps to go. You got all these guys breathing down your neck, so you got to go.
Take a look at this stuff, folks.
3 wide down in the corner. You can see Robert Presley there, 59 on the outside of Blaze Alexander. I tell you what, guys, that's like going through a parking lot at 100 miles an hour right there.
I know television's deceiving, but off turn 2 is not wide enough for 3 race cars.
Yeah, exactly right. 294 laps. 294 are on the board. There's Randy LaJoy.
Any of these cars you're looking at, 59 to 34, on back there, the first 4 cars, if one guy slips, he's going to be out of contention right now because they're running nose to tail, the first 4 cars. And there's Earnhardt. He's running this group down.
There's Dale Jr. running in 5th, trying to pick his way through. The leaders still having to dispense with the 83 of Wayne Grubb, who's just ahead of Robert Presley. Grubb making his Nashville debut here today.
He needs to get out of the way or Robert Presley will move him, I'll tell you that. He's on the outside of Grubb going down into turn 3.
You might have seen Grubb waving his hand saying go to the outside. Grubb finished 15th. Actually ran in the top 15 for most of the day at Las Vegas.
Eli being timid's over with now. They can smell the checkered flag now. These guys have turned the wick up. You see Elliott Sadler in 66 here. The first 4 cars nose to tail, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. is only a car length back from that.
23 laps to go. 23 laps to go. There's Dale Jr. around Wayne Grubb. And there's the leader right there, the second car in your picture, the 59. There's McLaughlin, LaJoy, Elliott Sadler. There's Dale Earnhardt Jr. We're going to break away, and when we come back, we'll take you to the finish of the Bell South Mobility Opryland 320.
Back
Folks, they're still
on
at
the
it here in Nashville. Robert Presley inside of Shane Hall. Mike McLaughlin right there with him. We're at lap 307.
I was just getting all the
13 laps to go.
Close out with the one. I'll try to play this one. The game again that says gamers try NASCAR 25 and go 150 mile an hour in real life.
The number 3 right there. He's got a long way to go. And as the song says, a short time to get there.
It's NASCAR, so
but I tell you one
they
thing,
may.
one of the great drives I've ever watched on this racetrack was put in by Dale Earnhardt Jr. A car that was severely bent by hitting the wall earlier in the race and coming back to 3rd place. That's fantastic.
And I love Mike McLaughlin's story. Wrecking that brand new car yesterday, rolling the back up off the truck.
Like in real life?
And here he is challenging for the lead.
I'm telling you, he hasn't given up at all. Robert Presley there has got a great line off the corner. McLaughlin not giving up.
And there's a great battle right there. Casey Atwood inside of Elliott Sadler. He'll pick up the 4th position now. Atwood will.
Casey Atwood is catching the 3 car of Dale Earnhardt Jr. He's really trying to lift up in that car.
That shows you what track position means. Had that bad pit stop, went all the way back to 11th to 12th. It's taken this many laps, even though he's got a fast race car, to get even back in contention at all.
I think it's interesting how they work.
Right there.
Well, I'm glad we
Not
have
so much the motor, but like all the parts.
Everybody's pulling for Casey Atwood and for these 2 guys.
Like mainly the setup stuff like that.
Wheel to wheel off turn 2.
A lot of lap traffic there. Ed Barrier
The front end
Green will be a
geometry.
big factor here.
Whoa, that's not good. Oh, jeez.
Caution is on the speedway. Presley's in the wall. Atwood goes by.
Oh,
Earnhardt
you're
goes
kidding.
by. Oh, and Sadler gets collected on the low side of the racetrack. Caution on the speedway. Earnhardt didn't get by unscathed.
Oh my gosh.
Caution, lap 313.
Holy
and
smokes.
a lot of cleanup to be done.
A lot of damage to the right front all the way back on Earnhardt's car. He couldn't get by the car spinning down the racetrack.
I'm sure NASCAR is going to do everything they can to get this cleaned up as quick as they can, where we can get a little bit of racing in, but there's a lot of cleanup, a lot of debris in turn 3 and 4 from this wreck.
And you see Mark Green there letting down the safety net. There is Mike McLaughlin of Waterloo, New York, looking for his 4th win in NASCAR Busch Series competition.
Not all of the sounds work. Most of them do, but some don't.
Casey Atwood got through there unscathed. He does not have a mark on that race car all day long. Sitting in 2nd place right now.
How about that? Pit road is closed because of congestion on the low side of the racetrack. We'll take another look at it here. 77 is barrier there.
Coming down the backstretch, of course, the 77 barrier, Mark Green, both lap cars here as the leaders come on them. Presley gets in the right rear of Mark Green, gets into Ed Barrier. They slide up the bank and there into the wall. Presley backs into the wall hard there, buddy.
Yeah, and you see Ed Barrier starting down the bank over there. That's where anybody that wanted to go by these guys would have to drive down. Now you see them all coming down the bank. See Mark Green there in the 37 gets hit in the right rear corner. That turns him in to Ed Barrier. And there goes Robert Presley, also badly torn up against the wall. Watch them as they come down the racetrack here. Now,
I don't know if I have
Atwood
crashed.
car,
I think
right down there.
crashed with ED. I should change a lot
And
of
then
these.
seconds later,
Or
Elliott
add
Sadler
more.
came through and
Add
got
another
around.
crash.
Meanwhile, Gary Cogswell, Mike McLaughlin's crew chief, is waiting and hoping.
Gary, patience and perseverance for this team. You had to roll a backup car off the trailer after that wreck in practice. You did a fabulous job with that, and the driver has showed great patience today.
I'll tell you what, Mike is just so smooth. He can take care of the car all day long. And there the 59 got around him a little bit, and I said to the crew, I said, I think we can win this anyway. And he was just so smooth taking care of the car. This track gets really slippery at the end of a run, and here we are. We're looking good. Got to say thanks to Chevrolet and Gould's Pumps.
Okay, these guys are ecstatic down here.
You can hear the
I like
celebrating
comedy.
behind them.
Like comedy
They continue
in, like,
to run under
movies.
caution with a lot of cleanup yet to be done. That's the crew's reaction to the accident at turns 3 and 4.
Mack Trucks are furnished by Clement Chevy Mack Sales. For all your truck and tractor needs, call Clement at 1-800-369-MACK.
Welcome back, everybody. A quick reminder, you can now race into the all-new and official store of NASCAR. Visit NASCAR Thunder, now open in cities all across the country. For locations and more information, call 615-883-7000. That number is open to you Monday through Friday. They'll give you all the details on where NASCAR Thunder stores are located. Well, we're racing the cleanup right now. 317 laps on the board. They're trying to clean cars off the low side of the racetrack. There's still a race car down there in turn 3 and 4. And effectively, this is going to wrap the day up here, because if they come to the stripe here, it'll be lap 318. They would get 1 to go at 319 and wrap it up. So let's hope they can work there on the low side of the racetrack. I'll tell you something, buddy. Dale Earnhardt Jr. has some cosmetic damage there to that car, but maybe nothing more than that.
You can see just
I need to add
the wheel, so it's
a
really
green,
in the door area.
but
That is not the running gear, so
I
he's okay.
think I made a green flag just because I don't want it to be the main green, but I'm still looking for a certain one.
Or the green flag, rather, this time. This race is going to end under caution. They'll get the white the next time by, and then they will get the checkered flag under yellow.
Might
Just not
not
enough
be.
laps to clean things up. There's still one car on the low side of the racetrack.
Green flag
Steve
2.
Burns, Robert Presley's bunch, got to be
That's
awfully
what it
disappointed, huh?
Yeah, what a heartbreak. Steve Plattenberger, the crew
Because I
chief.
don't have
Great run,
anything
Steve.
under
Just weren't there at the end.
Well, great race car. I want to thank Robert and Kingsford Charcoal Match Light. We had a great race car. We went to bed last night and everybody was shaking their heads going, well, what do we do? Chassis specialist up there, Ray, come in this morning and said, this is what we're going to do. And I said, that's good. That sounds good. And I fixed some shocks this morning, and I guess it worked. We didn't change the car all day, just put tires on it and running for the lead there. And they got into 2 lap cars there and took him out. I mean, that's part of racing. We'll be back. I guarantee you that. Robert's good. He's best out there, I think.
Great run.
Thank you.
A lot of disappointment down there, but indeed, Robert Presley did a heck of a job, and Mike McLaughlin just following the pace car for another half mile to pick up his 4th career
This is
victory
green
on the
flag.
NASCAR
They're not
Busch
going to
Series
finish
to
under.
go
They're
along
going
with
to
the
finish
win over
under
in
yellow.
1895, and the 2 wins last year, one in Loudon, New Hampshire, and one on the road course at Watkins Glen.
Eli, although it's ended under the yellow, nobody can leave here unhappy. Great race. Mike McLaughlin run up front all day long. He was a contender all the way through. Casey Atwood, what a great drive. Dale Earnhardt Jr. in 3rd place, a great job also.
Well, Casey's going to finish 2nd with the other guys who got taken out of the picture and all. He will finish 2nd. Dale Earnhardt Jr. will come across 3rd. Randy LaJoy will finish 4th. Oh! That'll wake Gary Cogswell up on a chilly day here in Nashville. Not that he needed to be woken up. But the Gould's Pumps team in Victory Lane here at Music City. One of those nice Gibson guitars will be given away to that young man. They will be in Victory Lane with them when we come back to Music City. It's all over, and the streak is still intact. 7 years, 7 pole sitters, 7 winners. Mike McLaughlin is in Victory Lane here in Nashville, Tennessee. Steve Burns, they earned that one from yesterday's wreck right on through today.
Boy, what a weekend, Mike. You guys destroyed a car yesterday in the morning, pulled out the backup car, and here you are in Victory Lane.
It says a lot for this Gould Plum Chevrolet. I mean, the car was good. We had a brand new race car here, destroyed it in practice, unload the backup. I mean, Gary called a great race, big guy, does a great job of the setups. The entire crew did a great job on the stops. We got track position, plus we were going forward on the track. That's, you know, that's the way we like to get him. Junior would look like he was good early. I would have liked to run him, but I just want to thank, you know, Chevrolet, Goodyear, Gould's Pumps, everybody that stuck behind us. It's been kind of a tough couple weeks, but we're headed to the front.
Well, Mike, you got the guitar here that's famous at Nashville. Do you know how to play that thing?
No, but it'll make a nice trophy, that's for sure.
Mike, at the end of the race, you had a great duel there with Robert Presley. Talk about your emotions there.
Robert was a little aggressive, you know, before that point and at that point. And I was just kind of there waiting, biding my time. And I tried him a couple times and kind of abused the right rear. It got a little loose, so I had to regroup. And I was ready to make another run there and run up.
That was a really great race. That's probably one of my.
You know, Mike, this is the kind of tracks you grew
I'd
up
remember,
on, any
like,
extra special emotions
pay more
winning here?
attention to Nashville now
I'll
because
tell you what,
they race
any win
great.
is good. But short, you'd think I'd be better on the short tracks, but we've
Still
been
don't know
struggling.
if my dad was with
it seems
Speedway
like,
or not.
This Gould Pump team has really turned things around.
Well, congratulations. Enjoy the win. Let's go to Randy.
I'd have to freeze frame some of those pit shots.
Congratulations, young man. You just drove a well of a Busch race.
Yeah, we did. We stayed up front all day. That's
You're
just
so
what we wanted
young.
to do. We think we had a good car to win, but lap traffic got us a couple times, and then we just ran out of laps at the end. I was hoping we get on the green because they told me in the pits I was a little faster than him. I think we could have got around him, but we'll get him next time.
A pit stop problem, is that one of the things that put you back there?
We got blocked in one time in the pits. We had to angle it in there, but we had pretty good pit stops. We got out usually about where we was, and that last time I got hung in there a little bit, so it was all around a good day.
Your thoughts on the future in this business as far as the Busch Series goes? Where do you go next?
Well, if we get a sponsor, we'll run the rest of the season this year, and hopefully a full year next year. And thank you, Randy. And hopefully run a few cup races in the next few years.
Let me tell you what, if we can pan this camera around here and show this throng of people in support of Casey Atwood, they know he's going to be a superstar, and he is one in the making today.
And, of course, that guy right there, Randy LaJoie, you heard him come by and say, heck of a race, and that's a nice testament from a man who himself is a two-time champion in this NASCAR Busch Series. We've got a lot more coming your way. Don't you leave, so stay with us as we come back to Nashville Speedway USA. We'll talk with a lot more folks. And
Speedway ends up finishing 8th, started 15th.
All of that yet to come.
The car looked really good on one of them
It's a great
runs.
race here today in Nashville. We'll give you the full rundown in a few moments, but you can also get it by getting online at NASCAR Online, www.nascar.com. Your 24-hour NASCAR Garage Pass. You'll have all the news, the full story from here in Nashville, all the previews for Darlington next week. So check it out today and every day. NASCAR Online.
Old school style gates.
Jr. came home third today. Randy Pemberton, a very solid run for him.
Oh, man, he did another heck of a job, Junior. This must be a lot of fun.
Well, it ain't a lot of fun running second, third every week. I mean, we want to be in the winner's circle. The AC Delco guys, done a great job today, and I can't say enough about that Chevrolet Monte Carlo. And I want to, thank everybody who's given me the opportunity to be here. And every time I keep knocking a dent in it, they keep pulling them out, and we keep on racing. So one of these days, old driver's going to put it in victory lane for the guys.
2 or 3 problems today. One almost, or maybe you did brush the wall. Then the problem in the pits, had to back up, put it in reverse, and stuck it in reverse. You got to fix those pit stops.
Yeah, I know. I keep on messing up in the pits there. One of these times, we keep on practicing, and it's just rookie mistakes that keep on getting me. I got up in the marbles, got in the wall, didn't get into it too hard. Just knocked the toe in out, made the car tight on long runs, and we tried to work on that, but it just wasn't enough to win the race today.
Another great run. Your win's coming.
Yeah, we're just working on the point system.
Okay, Steve Burns.
And with Randy LaJoie and Jason Keller finished 4th and 5th. Now, Randy, you first. You said this race was going to be a gut check for your team, a wake-up call of sorts.
Sure was. We come off the truck fast, and right before qualifying we were fast, and then we had an early number qualifying. Not early enough, because one of the guys went out there and crashed and oiled down the track real good, and I was second car out behind him and just didn't get a good lap in. I mean, just slip and slide, but to come back from 23rd to finish on the Monte Carlo run really good. Piggly Wiggly come on board and Kool-Aid, and the race team worked hard. We made a bunch of chassis adjustments during the race to get us up into position. I had to, even though it was a cool day, I had to sweat a little bit, and guys like Jason were nice to me today, and we ended up finishing 4th, so this is a good deal.
Jason, also a great run for you. You were 10th at Rockingham, another good finish today. I know you guys are hunting a sponsor. That's the way to do it.
Well, we a lot of people haven't been talking about us lately, so in order for them to talk about us, we got to run out front, and it's a good day for us. We fell back there a little bit there at the end, but I led them into the wrong change on the car, but hey, we're learning each other. We hadn't been together before races in the top 5 and the top 10. That's really good. And one time I run good, my wife, my little boy down here, so I'd like to say hello to them, and we'll see you later.
Okay, Jason, thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Mike McLaughlin, who won the race, led 4 times today for 51 laps. Interestingly, the most laps were led today by both Robert Presley and Casey Atwood. They led the exact same number of laps, and the significance of that is, unlike years past, this year, the NASCAR Busch Series is giving you points for leading laps and leading the most laps, the same way they do in NASCAR Winston Cup. So what was just something to brag on in the past is now something that really pays off in the season-long standings. Let's take you all the way back now through the 43 drivers who are in the field today. We've talked so much about that bunch again.
After this, I'm going to show that
backup car.
video.
He came home in 8th. Dick Trickle very quietly in 9th. And how about Elton Sawyer? Starts 38th. Just picked his way to the front, got a break there down the stretch, and finds himself with a top 10 finish. Elliott Sadler got caught up in that deal there in the corner near the end, and comes home in 11th spot.
Let's
Andy
see
Santerre, first visit here, fellas, and That's not bad for a guy who said, well, it's kind of like Thompson
base, 'cause
Speedway
I
in
think he
Connecticut,
was
but let me
new
get
to
out there and
this,
find
and
out
this
for
is
myself.
like,
Yeah,
I think the
one
third
time there
or-
he spun out during the race and got caught up
They had
in a
Daytona,
little mishap of somebody
Rocky,
else's doing. But a good experience for him.
Vegas.
He's down there. He's going to stay. He's going to be a great driver.
There's Chad Chaffin, the local favorite also, with a 28th place finish. Kevin LePage, Stanton Barrett.
Whatever we watched last.
And on down the line, some of the drivers who had problems.
Yeah,
Phil
so they're
Parsons
about
there.
6
Had a
races
decent
in.
run going and got caught up in that accident.
He really was. You know, he was just kind of trying
So
to hang
he's
out on the
about
lead
6
lap, you
races
know,
in
and bide
with,
his time,
base
and just
motorsports.
got caught up in that accident with Blaze Alexander over in turn 3 and put him pretty much out for the day. There you see David Green, Winston Cup driver there, finishing 43rd after starting 20th.
All right, he filled in for Derek Cope, who we hope will be back in the car next week at Darlington. But nice of David Green to fill in as everybody takes their war wagons now back towards the infield, the quarter-mile track, and they'll get set to pack it up, head to Darlington and on to Bristol as the season kicks into high gear for the NASCAR Busch Series. Randy Pemberton is back in the garage area. We've been bragging on Tim Feeder and the guys finishing 8th in a backup car. They deserve to be bragged on, I think, Randy.
No doubt about it. These guys did a heck of a job. You did a good job in the seat today. That's a tough thing to come back from as you did in the backup car today.
Yeah, it was, but you know, the base Motorsports and the Kleenex Scott Brand Product Chevrolet crew did a good job. I had confidence in the car, and that was a big thing. It's the car we ran here last year, and so I felt good getting into it right from the get-go, but a little stiff getting in this morning and trying to shake off some cobwebs, you know, and that was my biggest concern. I knew the car would be pretty good, but once that we started up and got going, it was they were all gone. We had a great car today. We just a little loose, a little too free, you know. We knew we needed to free it up from last practice, and we did it, but a little too free, and hey, I'll take it, you know. That's a top 10. We needed that. We've had a rough start, and for the weekend we had, that's a great job.
Was that something you tried to change under caution but weren't able to tighten it up enough?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I told the guys it was like we put tires on, kept putting different tires on, and each set was just a little different. Our first set was actually our best set, and that's the set I tried to get back to, and the guys tried to get their pressures back to that, but we never could quite get there. But that's okay. We had a good race car. We you know, we didn't hit nothing today, so that's a good thing.
Okay, good point run for him today. Steve Burns.
Well, Randy, I'm here with Robert Presley, and Robert just said we didn't win, did we? But boy, you were close, Robert.
No, I tell you, I'm real happy with all these guys, you know, Kingsford Charcoal, Match Light, 360 Communication. We had a good race car today. We've had one all year and just a little circumstances, but we got our qualifying down a little better this week and just got messed up again on this big race here, but that at Darlington next week's nicer.
Let's talk about what happened there at the end, Robert. You and Mike were going for the win, and just what happened from your point of view?
Well, I just, you know, I knew as long as I could keep traffic, you know, moving out of the way, I could beat Mike, you know, but his car was as good as mine or better. It was about time for him to take over because after 70 laps, he was real good. But I knew maybe, you know, just using my head a little bit and
is that the end of
try
it?
to snooker him that I might win, but if that hadn't happened, they might have been a bigger deal than that after that.
All right, thanks, Robert. Good, Randy.
Yep, I thought it was getting near the end of it. It'll auto play into what I'm going to play next stream I go live.
Darlington Raceway.
It'll
today,
be Darlington
43 of
tomorrow.
NASCAR's.
I'll do Darlington tomorrow morning. Right now, I want to play that video, if I can get away with it, that NASCAR put out. It's only a almost 6 minutes. Let's see if they let me get away with it.
Is it bad to push out other cars?
The track's looking incredible. I don't think anyone can.
You saw the guys you raced with.
A machine that's going 200 miles per hour. I mean, that's crazy. Oh my gosh.
My head is like throbbing. I thought I was being like launched into space.
We don't need to qualify. We're already qualified. Look at this. Come on. Come on. Are we not the best of the best?
Oh no! I totally just made someone turn over.
Lap 3 of this race is flying by. I don't know how there hasn't been a major incident yet. I almost caused one, but we're okay.
All right, race day, 1 p.m. My mama's here. My dad is here. They're already supporting me.
1 and 2. Nose camera.
Oh, it's not bad. Okay.
Here we go.
That'd be nice.
3, 4. I mean, the track's looking incredible.
I love how there's a goal.
Like, they look like they should.
Come on in.
I absolutely love it. I'd love to go play more of it.
Everything that the fans have asked for, from what I've seen so far, is there.
Actually, I like seeing like the views. The views are really pretty. Like it feels like you're actually on the racetrack. That's what I think.
It's something every time you progress.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the career mode has a lot of really cool features. Yeah, it gets really in depth.
I had a lot of fun. One of the things I was surprised with right off the bat was just how much I could customize with it.
What should people be most excited about for the game? I'd say from what we saw, career mode. And there's like a little area, you get your own garage in your house. Maybe it turns into a mansion, I don't know, but the career mode looks pretty cool.
All you gotta do is get behind the wheel and you're already having fun.
This is the trophy way Martinsville.
Oh, really?
I basically started at Motorsports in 1993. I walked in the door to the body shop.
So wherever he points and touches on that race car, we know exactly where that is in space.
Okay, they went to the driving experience at Charlotte. That'll be like an hour from where we're gonna be living.
A little bit nervous, but I think that's fair.
Which I'll show you the video next. I found one last night that gave me a little bit of information. Really helped. And actually I can point out things that about the town since we lived there for so many years. In the outskirts or in town. I lived in several different places because it's like a campground and there's rentals. Owners change or whatever. Or
the craziest experience of my life.
All kinds of different things go on.
Ridiculous. Oh my God, my head is like throbbing. I thought I was being like launched into space.
Yes! Dude, incredible. This man's a heck of a driver over here.
I'm ready. I'm feeling nervous. I've never done this. Guys, I don't even know how to drive, but it's okay. I'm not driving. I'm not the one driving, so we don't have to be nervous. Hello. I'm Kat. Time. That was probably one.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. And most people are freaked out, so
really?
I think it's awesome.
No, I was like enjoying it the whole time. I was like smiling, I was laughing.
Ready? No, not at all. No. I'm intentionally biding my time. You know, I'll get there eventually.
Just gotta get
it doesn't help. I know Anthony. Anthony's gonna try and scare me.
My favorite part is I got my rear view mirror right here facing the passenger, and looking up and seeing their smile while you're turning laps is what makes it all worth it, you know?
With his IR, it's hard to believe that's his first time in a race car. His IR is insane.
Back up. All right, ready? No.
Thanks, bud.
You're welcome.
Not as bad as I thought, but We still got close to the fence, but it was okay. Only slightly horrified.
Wow. Pretty insane. That was a good one, gamer.
We know when and we know how.
Let's see. And I'll bring up this. I have it on a playlist. I've been gathering information on my playlist. And this is 32 minutes. So, I mean, I'm going to raid out and close, shortly after this. So, if you're interested in seeing where I'm moving to and the pros and cons, you'll see why we say it's a movie set and we're almost like play actors, because there's so much tourism that comes through. But let me just show you. It's better to show you than tell you. Let me see. We'll get past this little ad. And I think he does have some ads.
Friends, welcome back to the channel.
This is just a blogger I found.
I'm going to take you to the cowboy capital of North Carolina.
And he's got most of the facts right, and some things he doesn't. I can tell you.
I can't wait to get up there and check this old western town out. No cars allowed. We will be on foot today because I don't own a horse. I do think they got stables. Maybe you can rent a horse if you come up here. A lot of people come up here and do some horseback riding in the
I don't know if you can rent any anymore. We used to. In fact, I used to tow the horses from one pasture to another for the man. And my son used to give tours of all things, like dress up with a cowboy hat and the chaps and everything. Swear to God.
It's true.
It was like we were in Gunsmoke for real. Yeah, right? Right there, 9K and 8K.
Talk about that a little bit too. I'm going to show you where that concert happened. So,
and that's low because I've seen him up over 10. Or I don't even know if it goes any higher.
I'm going to check out Love Valley today. It's a beautiful day out. Great day for walking. Let's get some fresh air. Get some of that vitamin D that sun's putting down on me right now.
This is
I don't know how long I'm going to stay in this hoodie, but
we really live there, like.
Son, this hoodie, it's getting a little bit warm.
He's a little chatty, but
let's make our way down Mountain View Road.
He is. Let me see. I'll show you who it is.
Love Valley Fun.
I'll have to minimize this to roll down. Hitchhiking Yeti. I've already liked his channel, and I hope he appreciates me showing yous. Because this is like helping me to see what the town has done in 5 years I've not been. Okay. What he did was drive about 2 miles and another 1.5 miles to this location. This is where the corner is of Love Valley Road and McCarran Trail. I mean, not McCarran.
Welcome.
Mitchell Trail.
To Love Valley. And
that's Mitchell Trail Road.
You'll see this sign right here.
I've walked all over here. I used to tend a horse.
There's a lot of people riding
in that stable.
So we want to really take
feed them, feed them when they're.
See, because there's going to be a lot of this.
Oh, good.
We're going to see quite a
bit of. That's great, gamer.
Horse defecation.
Why is he showing you poo?
Quite a bit. There's a lot of horses. I've already seen probably about 8 horses today. Just driving.
Almost everybody wears
boots.
Parked
the vehicle. I cannot take the vehicle into town limits or anything, but we're going to walk on up through here and just look at some of the cool things to see. This is
a campground somebody's pulling out of.
Even if you're not a horseback rider, this is some.
This is where Andy Barker's son
let's move up this way a little bit further. And dig
it says
real
Andy's.
Deep in this town. Let's go look at some cool western stuff.
It used to say Andy's Hardware.
Just to give you a little backstory to Love Valley before we continue on into town.
But I know there's an apartment upstairs
situated in the foothills of the
that door.
Just north of
I've known people who have rented the apartment here. Some maybe it's on the other side.
Living in a western town.
There
so
it is.
At age 29, Andy left his lucrative general contracting business in Charlotte.
Somewhere.
Moved his family.
I don't know. There's an apartment in there
somewhere.
In 1954, his wife, son, and his daughter moved into a little one-room shack. Andy used his crew from J.A. Construction Company, owned jointly with his father, to build the town of Love Valley.
Now this appears to be, this is someone's private land right there, and they've apparently made
and the rest of the town
a little hot dog stand or
originally
something.
the town was built around the arena, but then they decided to move it up into its present location overlooking
Okay, I'm
the
gonna
arena.
stop right there. Okay, see this building here? That's called the Porch. That used to be the local daily hangout where people would come and get like soda or sometimes juice. We'd have beer, we'd make pizza, have snacks, things like that. We had pool tables, jukebox, and video games like, you know, pinball and all that stuff. And it was open all day long, and I tended it sometimes from 10 o'clock in the morning till 10 at night, or even 2 at night. I mean, I loved working there. Since this was where the person lived that owned that, they sold this to the man, I think, that made this
First mayor
this
of
club.
was Andy's father, known as J.A., but in
This
1965,
there's a
Andy
club
was
right
elected
here.
for the first of many
That's
terms.
actually
In
a
1970,
dance
Love
hall
Valley had a rock festival in
was
which
made
the
sorta
Allman
new.
Brothers band headline. I'll
This
show you
place.
exactly where all that happened, and I have a picture to plug in to show you, you know, what it looked like back in the day, because it was like 100,000
And it's called
people
Misfit
showed up
Corral.
in this
It's
little
North
town.
American
In 1988,
Misfits
Love
is
Valley's
the,
leathersmith Joe Ponder was inducted into the Guinness Book of World Records for having the world's strongest teeth.
Yeah,
Love
that's
Valley was
Joe
promoted
Ponder was
even
actually
further when Joe
a
was featured in Ripley's Believe It or Not, and then later he even appeared on the David Letterman show.
Ponder was actually one of the best leathersmiths in the area. He's made a lot of saddles and stuff, and they're extremely rare. Now, like, worth a lot of money. I mean, he made so many of those types of things, the saddle work and leather works and stuff. And right on the left here is that gray area, the gray building. That was the blacksmith shop that was operational back when I first moved there, but I'm not sure on the status of that anymore. And then, like I said, we walked everywhere. When they say no vehicles on Main Street, you can drive all the way up to this parking lot beside the blacksmith. They just mean it's kind of a gimmicky thing that you can't drive down here. But like during the weekday, service vehicles bringing in goods is gift shops and stuff. But it looks rustic and old. It does need a facelift, but they want to keep it as original to the original town as possible. So it is like been used for movie sets.
Pretty cool. All right, we're actually looking right down to the main drag now. You can see the entrance to Love Valley down there. You can see the signage. It says Love Valley in red.
This is actually the hotel to the right with the flags.
Parked off to the left. That's like a little parking area. You can park there and then walk into the town itself down Main Street. And then right up here,
that's been
we have
there
some Love Valley town rules
for so many
give
years.
You an idea of some of the rules they have here in the area. And I love this one right
I
here.
want to say
that's really cool, ain't it? You don't see that every day for town rules. Main Street closed to motor
2010
vehicles.
maybe it was
Pretty
put
cool.
up there.
And then right below there it says no running horses, no glass containers.
Yeah, definitely
So now
no
we are
glass,
ready
and that's
to
just because there are horses.
walking in
Everyone
this direction.
almost here owns horses.
And getting into the gist
But
of
I'm
things.
not
I just
sure about the
spoke to a
rentals
lady,
anymore or the
and she was
status.
telling
That'd be
me about
something I
where
would
the
really
church
be
is located,
interested
and
in
that is the first building that was
reviving if
built
that was possible.
here in
But
Love
I
Valley by
don't
Andy
have the
Barker and his
horse
family.
knowledge. I just
And
have
she said it's
business
always open, so we might go down there and look
ability.
at it. She said
I'm
that
not
they're
a
really looking forward to bringing this
experienced
place
rider
back
by any
alive
means.
because they've had a lot of issues.
My son rides better than I
kind
do.
of plumbing issues in recent years, and they got the parts and pieces coming in for their plumbing problems.
This is something I needed to
in
know.
September at the end of summer
Because
so,
everything was on hold here.
She's really loving
because
what's happening here and the revival that's
of
happening. And
the sewer
she was
problem
like,
per capita.
Get some good pictures, get some good video. we're coming back. And I'm like,
being
all right.
part of Statesville, if we were going to be part of
Right,
the
open
revival
sign zone for this bed
of
and
the
breakfast located here in Love
sewer
Valley.
system and stuff,
They got a vacancy. This is called Miss Kitty.
we had to be building code compliant,
kinda
and
reminds
this
you
being
of-
an old town,
I don't know.
it's
Where's
almost
Marshall Dillon's
impossible.
office in Festus? That's what it just reminds me of a little bit. Very interesting. It says gift shop on it. I don't know if they really got a gift shop here or not, but that's pretty neat. Obviously,
I
if you
heard
come
that
to Miss
they
Kitty's, you
do.
better not be smoking. If you plan on smoking, you better be on fire.
I heard there might be a gift shop inside the hotel. My parents stayed at that
swings
hotel
out here.
one night or 2 nights there, and they really thought it was really quaint.
This is so
it's,
cool.
It's rustic, but it's nice.
Room
Clean
board,
and stuff.
Ted's root beer.
I wish he would have walked in the lobby. It
Here,
looks so
welcome
different
to
when you walk
Love
in the
Valley.
lobby than the outside.
1963.
Well, and it's a heating.
Check out this sign right here. It says Town of Love Valley, 1954. And it's got a name, Andy and Eleanor Barker.
Eleonora,
Andy and
I
his wife,
went to her
the
last
town
birthday
creator.
party.
That's their
She
name
always
right
had
there
an
on
ice
that
cream
sign.
social on
Right before you make your
her
way
front
in.
porch, which is right there.
Make your
that they were
browser
just
fast.
looking at was their front porch.
Make your browser safe.
And she
To
would
the
sit in
town
a chair
itself.
there, and
There's the sign, Love Valley.
we had an ice cream social, like all
right, I'm
the
ready.
tables here and
so
stuff.
right over there is Miss Kitty's, and then if you go down Torrey Pass Lane, right down through here,
I know
the church
person
down
that's
that way,
named
and
after.
so we're
She
gonna go
owns
down there and,
Moonshine Gifts
Take a look
Building.
at that now, and look at the stained glass windows. She said it's really fixed up nice, and it's still a functional church. They still
There's a
use this
speed
church from
bump
day to
here,
day, so it's always open.
and a
so we
speed
definitely
bump
wanna go
there.
Check that out. All right, and right here is the church, Love Valley Presbyterian Church. It's right
That's
here
the
is this
first building
location.
that was ever
This would have
built.
been the first building that was built by Andy Barker and
I'm
his
gonna
family.
speed him up
when
just
Love
a
Valley
little
was
bit.
just starting, way back in the 1954. And I just think about it, these rocks right here could be the exact rocks even back then they placed for the first time.
They were
of the church. Now, is it going to be easy to get in here? I don't know. She said it's always open. But look at this mechanism right here. Is that going to just open up?
This is
All
what
right,
I
here
love
we go.
about the
We're in
town.
church.
I have a little
All
cabin
right,
that
here we go. We walk
the
in
door
church
makes
now.
that noise.
And look at this place.
I
There's
mean,
the
it's
stained glass
really,
windows.
really used. It'll
And they have
actually be
service here
down
every week
from where we're
and have
gonna be.
meetings. That's really pretty.
It's down the hill.
I wish I knew where the lights were.
And around the corner.
So, right here's the lights. There we go. We got lights. So this is the church. I'm not going to spend much time in here because I don't want to alarm anybody. But she said I was welcome to come in, but she didn't come with me. So, but this is what it looks like.
He's
That's pretty awesome.
speaking
That is
fast
beautiful
because
stained glass.
I
Like
did
all
speed
of
up
them
the
are pretty,
video
but
a little bit.
That right
just
there is really
get
awesome
through.
looking. All right, let's skedaddle. I just wanted to see what it looked like. All right, so we were just inside the church right here, and now I noticed there's a few graves scattered over here on the side of the property here at the church. And I noticed this this big headstone right here. It says Ponder on it, and this is the grave site of Joseph D. Ponder, died June 1st, 2002. And this is, I'm thinking, is the same Joe that I read about who had the world's strongest teeth, who was on the Ripley's Believe It or Not. He was in the Guinness World Book of Records for having the strongest teeth, and he was on the David Letterman show. So he's actually buried right here at the church. And they got a few more right over here to the side where there's some American flags. I want to go over here and check these out next. So I made my way up here to these flags.
These are the families of the
This
town
right here is
founders.
Andy
Like
Barker's
the
wife,
Barkers founded
Eleanor
it, but Ponder
Barker.
was like his
She died in 2018.
partner
His
or
loving wife,
whatever.
mother and grandmother. And then right
But
next
I
to
knew
her
knew her.
is this.
I
this
never
would be her
met Jet.
son, because he was only 2 years old when they moved here in 1954. And as you can see, February 25th, 1952 is when he was born. And he died August 2nd, 1981. He was very young. Jet was his nickname, I guess.
I was still in Massachusetts in
And right
'81.
here next to Eleonora is
That's Andy
Jeter, Andrew Barker Jr.
Jeter.
I'm thinking this here's him.
And Jeter,
July 4th, 1924. So this
he was never called Jeter. He was called Andy, and I met him
2011.
at a karaoke contest in 2000.
Right here on this hillside.
10. It was shortly before he did pass away.
Straight across from this hill where these people are buried, the Barkers.
Okay, I'm going to stop that right there. This is the tire shop, and going down that road, you can see there's a rodeo behind there. If you go past the rodeo, a few more telephone poles, that's where we'll be living.
Right there.
That's
is the
our
rodeo
view
ring.
of that mountain.
Right there is also going to be the site of that 1970 rock concert with 100,000 people all across that hillside.
There was a Love
Fest
Fest concert type thing after Woodstock in 71.
Where we are going to
The Allman Brothers ended up building a cabin,
started that direction.
and I have been in that. It's rented out to a friend of mine last I knew, but I don't know who,
It says no motorized vehicles
if he's
on Main
still in
Street,
there or not.
No open container. No
But see how
horses or
there's like
boardwalks. So,
tourists
I was gonna
just
walk straight
park and
down the
walk
middle of
in
the
and
town,
stuff
Henry,
all the time, so
but
you
I
kind
think I'm
of,
gonna walk down this
like,
little
if you're
boardwalk right
in
here.
town just sitting
You know?
there on the bench or something using your cell phone, because there's cell
Too
signal,
bad I ain't got some big old boots on or something where you can hear that little clickety-clack sound. as
you
walk down
sometimes
some woods.
interact with
That'd be
visitors.
awesome. So it looked like they were doing some work and some sanding and fixing this old shop up right here on this little boardwalk. Doing a lot of work inside.
That was
The sign
Tori's
here says
shop. I
Moonshine
used,
Gifts.
okay, this is another thing I know
But
a
I don't
lot
know if
about
that's what's gonna
this
be moving
building.
forward or not. All right, I have to
Tori
do it.
is the granddaughter of the town
Come down here
founder,
on Main Street now and just walk.
and her
I'm not
mom
stepping
lives
in
right
it.
across the street here and has
You know.
this beautiful little Zen garden.
Look at this though.
Over.
Is this not cool? That is awesome, man. I
he
mean, this is
spin
just like
around
being in that
just
show
a little
Gunsmoke.
more.
This is so
A little
rad.
more. If he spun it, this is where Ponder's shop
Look at
used to
that.
be. But if they
like
spun
a
around a
leather-
little more, it would be the
leather
apartment.
workshop.
I used to live in the
Custom
apartment
saddles and
downstairs
things. Got a
behind
couple of
Moonshine
saddles up there on the
Gifts.
roof.
So
Draped
some of
over.
these have residencies,
That is
some
pretty
of
neat.
them do not.
And look at this. They got some old. Well, number one, first thing you see here in town is notice they got hitching posts where you ride your horses and hitch them. But as we walk up here, back on this boardwalk area, there's some old church pews right here. Check that out.
Been there
Somebody
since
down there
I've
saying that sign
known.
actually says open. I don't know what that is, but we're going to make our way down there and look at it.
Melissa was a lady who used to have a gift
I was
shop
talking
there.
to a lady
Now Shelby's
when I was
place, my
coming in
friend rented the upstairs
about, like,
apartment, and I
how
filmed.
this all started. Like
Ooh,
originally,
stop.
you know, they built the church, and then they built the
Stop.
arena.
See this oil tank in the back? This window right there, that was the rented room that I rented. And so I loved it. I was there for 4 months. Inside, I have photos of the indoor. You wouldn't even believe what the difference is, how it looks inside. I'll show you. I'll grab them photos real quick and show you how it looks inside. It's crazy. But I'll keep him playing his video and I'll just find those pictures. But inside it would be 2017, 18. Yeah. This is crazy, man. I'm looking at these pictures. Wow. Yep. This. I'll show you real quick because you can see. This is my. I was just taking a picture. I was in my room there. That's my room inside that window. It's crazy how different it looks inside, but outside is just for show, right? Can you see that? That's how it looked inside that window. I had my TV and my little chair and my bed over here and a little fan just to move the air around. And on behind me was like a big built-in room closet or whatever, and we all had use of the kitchen. I rented, like, this elder man rented the whole apartment, so him and his granddaughter's grandson sometimes would be in and out, but I just rented this room. And I loved it, but we found out the people renting it to us didn't have the ownership of it. So that was like, oh, holy crap, I got to move now. So those are the types of things that kind of go on in town because it is an old town, who has deed to what gets a little sketch at times. So anyway, that's inside this window right here. So that's how different. It's like outside it's just like a facade. Inside it's actually functional.
They decided to move it up here to higher ground overlooking the arena, which is a smart move. This storefront right here is called
in our
Shelby's
camper.
Place.
We're going to be living in our camper. In fact,
she said they actually have, I think, a band or something that plays up
I'll
there.
be able to show you.
It's got some old wooden signs up here telling you what they sell here. We got ice cream,
able to
pizza,
show you
ice. Of
what
course,
it
they got
is.
music because of the band.
It's an actual
cool
like
stuff.
property with a camp lot with all the camping set up because she occasionally
Not that people don't still
would
come up here. You see a lot of
lease
people
it
doing
out
some
to
horsebacking,
people.
but I think you got like 2,000
This is
acres
new
here
since we left. I
of
didn't know
horsebacking.
about
So
this
it's a
little
really big thing here in
sit
the area.
spot.
And this is a cool place. I don't remember this last time I was
I
here.
don't
It
know
seems
if
like it
it's
was
a
freshly
picture
built.
op spot or if it's
Little wood cowboy capital there. It says love
because it's
Valentine.
right next
Had
door to
little-
this
maybe a
little
selfie
tiny
moment.
bar. It's a little town
Picture
bar
there.
called
Pretty cool.
Shelby's.
So I found this signage
This
here.
is interesting.
It's like a
Okay,
map.
I'm going to pause that right there. This is the town we're standing right through here. We're going to be actually we're going to be right up in here. Right here. And this, it's weird that this is written red. I'm thinking Jeanette opted out. She has her own septic. So I don't know if she has to tie into this other deal or not. So this is questions we need to like
of Love Valley.
think
They have,
about.
like phase 1, 165 structures likely on septic systems.
Now,
And
I'm going to stop right there. We lived, like, there's a creek that runs down through everything, and we lived on both sides of this mountain, Fox Mountain. So we're real familiar.
that's part of their
On
problem, like,
foot,
got shut
on
down a few years
four-wheeler,
ago, was
on
due to their
horseback. We've
septic
been
problems.
all
And then they got
over
phase 2, 92
those
structures likely on
700
septic systems.
acres.
So
It's
I think this right here is
gorgeous.
where we're at. This
So
right here is like a
freaking
main street
gorgeous,
of
I
town.
swear to
So I'm gonna
God.
back up. You see, we've been walking here in this area.
And
Look
it
how
was, the
expansive
town
Love
had
Valley is, the
problems
town.
because
Look at
of
that.
all these
And just down
building
here, this new
codes
area. Look at that.
being
That's phase 2
incorporated
down
into the
there.
county.
And they got like occupied
It
buildings
became a
already.
problem.
You see quite a few buildings here with people in them, or being used for something. So I never really realized how big this place was until I looked. You know, at this sign right here, this picture. That is pretty cool. All right, let's continue on. Check this out. I finally found a horse that I can ride and handle. Right,
That's
it
been
is.
there since
Give
I've
me a quarter.
forever known. I believe it works.
These
Sometimes
easy
it works and
balance meals kick takeout to
sometimes
the curb.
it
Factor helps me
doesn't.
take control over what I'm eating and spending on
And
takeout.
a lot depends on whether the power is
All right,
on
right
where
here
it's
is the
plugged
general
in.
store.
This building, Shelby's, I wanted to really quick. That's where that little bar is. It has billiards in it. It has bands in it sometimes, or a
cafe.
DJ. But it's like real authentic.
I like this
old,
sign right here. It says free ride in a
It's
sheriff's
been
car if you shop
updated
in from the
inside,
store.
which is kind of cool.
Compliments of Sheriff Philip H. Redmond.
Now that's just a sign that's been there
Which he's not been
forever,
sheriff
and
in
it's
this county
kind
for
of
quite some time. That's definitely old. Probably 10
for
years
show,
older
and
there.
that probably was
That
a real
signage.
bullet hole, to be honest.
Check out these old fans up here.
People get drinking, and they're supposed to turn their
Wow, those hot North
pistols
Carolina
in.
summers, way to do it, wasn't it? To a fan. I see this at the beach every once in a while too, but these here have not been used in.
They've been
I
like
would
that
say a
since
really
I've
long
lived
time.
there too.
Seeing their condition.
It's just the way
They're so
they are.
rooted looking.
But this building here, the Spur, when I moved in,
And
it
right
was a
across from the
beautiful
jewelry store, we
restaurant
have Dawn's Feed
and
More.
club, and had so much activity
She
and
mentions
action
some
and
stuff here
pool,
also.
pool
Home on the
games
range.
and
She got an open
dancing,
side on
and
there.
it
People
was
inside
it's
doing a little bit of
just
shopping.
gorgeous. All right, that's weird. This is where they used to rent out a room. This kid Jason lived, I think. That's where Stelly met her
Fan.
kitty
I
friends.
see this at the beach every once in a while
Let me
too, but
see, I gotta
these here have not been used in inside on. There are
check
actually
that.
people inside doing a little bit of shopping.
Oh no, that's the opposite side of the road.
Some of the stuff there in the
Okay.
window that she actually sells. That's pretty cool.
That used to be where
Here's a
Melissa's
cool,
gifts
cool,
were. So.
sign says Barker Family Love Valley Museum. Right there.
That might be something they're
I don't know if
building.
that's
I've
something
heard.
that's coming. Or is it
Now,
a
this
thing
was a
now?
year
I don't know.
ago, this video.
See if I can peek in the window here and see anything.
Oh gosh, we had so much fun
It's
through
pretty
these
dark in there. There's
woods.
some
Oh my
books or something,
God.
But other than that, and there's a lot of pictures. I know you guys can't see it right.
'Cause we had,
But you see the
like,
pictures on the wall? That'd be kind of cool
like,
to see that kind of stuff.
Days when the
And
town would
right
have
here
a
is
party
another
or
place.
whatever,
We got the
chili
Cowboy
cook-off or
Canteen,
whatever.
drinks and snacks. Let's go in
We'd
here and
have
check out what the
dance
vending
marathons on the
vending
main
machines
street
have.
doing
Here's
line
the
dancing and
Union
everything.
American flag. And right here it says vending machines.
That was
Right
just
here.
a vacant. A lot of these buildings were vacant. And it looks like they put in new structure to hold the ceiling up, I saw, and new wiring. So they're getting things up to code, I guess.
Some sun chips. Very dark in here.
But what
They
I'm
got some cold
hoping
drinks,
that
got some
they'll
Sprite,
show you,
Coca-Cola,
he's
Sun
going to
Drop,
walk down the end of
a
the
little bit of Monster,
road. Let me
which I don't
see.
drink those. I think a lot of stories about this place throughout the years.
That place is gorgeous inside. Oh my God. I've got, that's where I met this town. I did a karaoke contest there.
There's always up to something and involved in many here.
These are all just silly.
It's just like, if you open out that door, there's nothing to walk on. You're just
He
gonna,
doesn't
like,
know
fall
what that
if it
is.
wasn't
Okay,
blocked
wait,
off, so
go back up.
pretty awesome. Right here, I'm standing on this little walkway area here
Okay,
on where the Silver
this
Spur is located.
building,
And look,
remember when we said they had that festival, that music festival? This is the ticket building where they sold the tickets and stuff.
this door up here.
It was where they organized
It's just like,
it.
if you open out that door,
But
there's
it's been
nothing to
used
walk on.
in
You're just gonna,
movies
like, fall
now since.
to the ground. How crazy is that? I wonder if there used to be something there. Or maybe that's how they loaded
And you
stuff
haven't
up
been
in there. I don't know.
initiated until you haven't got
That's
drunk
so
on
bizarre.
this hill and fell down the other one.
I don't
He'll
know
look
if it's
off
any
the
safe
back,
that
but
it wasn't blocked off, so you know
you
me.
walk down those
We're gonna go
steps,
for it.
you
I can
kind of
imagine
peek
in
to the
summer
left right there. There's steps that wind down. There's stone steps.
when it's warm and everything's blue.
And
you
they're
see all
sketch
these-
when you've
all this
been
growth, these
drinking, I'll tell
vines.
you what. Because mostly if you
That's
went out
something
to
else.
the club, you would walk there
Bumblebee
and walk
I'm walking
home.
by. This is like
So,
a back door.
as long as you could walk
to the
home,
Silver Spur.
you'd be cool.
Kind of look over
And
the
oh
edge
my
here.
God, I had so much fun
the
on this
backside here,
balcony
have a
with
little patio.
people out here. This is where we go out and shoot the shit. Because it was so hot inside sometimes, because they had the kitchen and the dancing and everything. And out here it was just like so fun to just come outside and the breeze and everything.
Back here.
But, you know, drunks on a
Down there
balcony
at the road, that's
probably
where
is
the church
against
located,
code.
back down that way.
But, and stuff. Yeah, if you look through the woods, back up in here is where I lived for quite a while.
Some of these buildings are definitely has some rougher wear going on. And if you look at the roof,
Inside, though, they're
of this building, look
gorgeous.
at
This
that.
one here is not
The
occupied.
sheet
This
metal's
one
kinda
is
ripped
empty
up.
inside.
it looks like something's
It
going on
has
over there.
nothing.
It's not alive now, but
This is the
I
one
think
that's
at some point we have
active.
some
See, they
balloons on
got a
that,
satellite dish
for sure.
and everything.
A lot of work needs to be done to this whole place.
But that was the old
Somebody
ticket
just came
building.
around this corner right here from the side and kind of, I'm looking around here and I looked up and look at that old fan up there, how rusted out that thing is.
Never smelled cigarette smoke in there.
that is rusted out
And
big
everyone
time.
smokes, so it must work really
thing.
well, in my opinion.
And they got an old sign right here. Silver Spur Saloon. Fine food, casual
This you
dining,
could get into
live country music and
the
dancing.
dance hall.
And right here is the chicken coop. It's being totally darked out. Maybe you can see it now. Chicken coop. Right there it is, chicken coop. Look at this right here. That's a sign you don't see every day. Bad water. Drink at bar.
These are all iconic stuff we've had
Last time I
for
was here, I think
years.
they actually had chickens.
We
in
didn't.
this chicken coop, but not now.
No. This was another place
There's no
where we
chickens in
had
there.
we had pool tables. It was an outdoor play. Well, okay, the pool tables are in behind this skull and crossbones sign. There's a little drop down room. You step down and there's a pool table, and they have pool tournaments. And this was a place that Bill ran. He also ran the saloon. But when we were here, there was dollar bills pinned on this wall, like on all the beams and everywhere. The dollar bills were pinned from all over the world, like signed by people and everything. And these were the tables that we sat at and the chairs. And out back was where the people went out there to smoke too. And they would have a band right here. No joke. Like, it was the chicken coop because of the way it was looking, the
There's
way it
nothing
looked.
here worth your life. Man, that's threatening.
And seriously, see how kind of cool it was? And I don't know, none of this wood was there, obviously. It was just so
So
different.
no chicken coop. A lot of firewood
Oh my
right there.
God, like when it
I don't
was
know if it's worth my
active.
life or not, but I like a good fireplace fire. Ain't nothing
I don't know
warm you
what
up in
happened
the
at
wintertime better than a fireplace.
down, or
with
if
some
they're
logs in it,
renovating.
crackling and burning. All right, we have made it all the way down Main Street now. And this is what it looks like at the end of Main Street.
Okay, I'm going to stop that right there. We're going to live, like you see this goes up to the church. We're going to live like right behind there. And we have view of the rodeo from the front porch. So.
Looks like we have a...
The lady that lives there has a front porch.
The windmill used to be there. But this is what you're going to see if you walk all the way to the end of Main Street.
Let's see if they pan far enough right
You have
to
the-
see where we were.
The L for love and the V.
Okay. This is the arena, obviously, but
it
looks like they
for
had a lot of
Valley.
rain.
Right here's the gate. And
If he pans
believe it or not,
right
yours truly
enough.
has been here, and I have
Right there, we like be 3 more doors down that road, toward that white share arrow.
actually set right down there on those. It's like concrete bleachers. At least I think it's still there. It looks kind of leaf. Yeah, it's still there. I see it down there at
That's
the
all
end.
still there
But,
from
this right
that
here, I've actually been able to watch
concert.
rodeo
It was
before back
all
in the day.
made for the concert. These
Really cool. And this is the site for the rock
Bleachers.
concert. Right here. This is where the show was. This is where it all went down. And you can tell, like this is the arena they built, and you can tell, like, you know, the town.
We actually organized a concert in, I want to say, 2016. And this was the stage, that little remnants there of that pillar. That was the stage when we had Confederate Railroad and what am I drawing a blank? Doug Gray. Marshall Tucker Band. We had them both down for a concert. About 3,000 showed up. It was nice. It was cool. I'm going to try to find video if anyone ever uploaded anything from them. But yeah,
Used to be
this
down here,
was
but you can see how downhill it is.
used
and
a little
flooding wasn't
bit.
An issue. And that's the reason they moved it
Stelly
back up
loves
here.
running down this hill and sliding
the
in the
top side.
leaves. That was her thing.
Right here
She'd
where it
run and
exists
dive
today.
into the leaves and slide.
I wonder if we can walk down there. I kind of like to walk down there a little bit. All right. The gate wasn't locked, so I just walked in.
Most woodwork.
The reason we would go up and down that hill a lot is they had a little country store in town that sold milk, bread, you know, your daily use stuff, you know. So anyway, that's why we would walk up and down this hill with a backpack, go up to the store, buy milk, stuff everything in the backpack, and walk back. And Stelly loved it. She was always so skinny then. Now she's chubby.
That's back when I used to maybe
So
upload
are
maybe
we,
once a
because
month.
we don't
I was
walk
just
all
messing with
the
it.
time no
Didn't know if I
more.
was going to like it or not. Look at me now. Always uploading 2 videos.
But I don't
every
even know
Friday
if
and
they
Monday.
have a country
So
store
new to
in
the
town
channel.
that's
Right now would be a
open
good time to hit
anymore.
that subscribe button. It's free. All right, check this out, man. Yeah.
Now, when they
They've,
do have rodeos, this entire parking lot will be full of camper vans, fifth wheels, horse trailers, all kinds of things all through here. And it happens, it looks quite often
ready.
because it looks like they've
Have some rodeo
renovated
in Center.
their...
That looks pretty good down there.
Their,
I've actually seen this place kind of grown up before.
They just
Looks like
started
they've,
renovating
looks like
it when we
everything's been
left.
freshly painted. A lot of red, white, and blue on the railing. Americana. And yeah, right here is
That's the original
the steps.
stadium
I mean, not the steps, but the seats.
from the
Which I don't know how good you're going to be sitting there. I thought
concerts,
when
I
I was here
think.
last time, maybe we had stuff to sit on. There's a lot of moss on the seating here in the arena.
I've got
But this is
photos
where
of
the
me
rock concert
sitting
definitely
there,
happened.
just because
There's some really good pictures
it's a nice place
where you
to
can
sit.
see
See?
where this was just people. Seas of people as far as you can see back through here. So back in 1970, I'm going to share with
wait.
you kind of a loose story that I gathered
Right
from
over
people
there.
that used to
Right
come here a
there,
lot and hang
there.
out here. But
3 more doors down, that's where we'll be.
But I think kind of what happened, you know, I think it was in '69.
This is a
Woodstock happened
concession
up in New York,
stand.
in the state of New York. And I think Andy Barker's daughter wanted to go to that said rock concert, and he said, "No, you ain't going to that. No, my daughter ain't going to that." So he wanted to put on his own little concert for her here, like a year later in 1970. So that being said, I believe it was like there was another concert going on further to the south. The Allman Brothers ended up coming to this, and everybody just kind of followed. Because you got to remember, back
Greg
in those
Allman
days,
built the cabin.
all
Like I
that,
said,
you know,
I've been
love
in
and
it
peace and all that
several
stuff was
times
going
out on
free love,
Bacon
that type of
Road.
thing. And people would just kind of, especially hippies, they just kind of congregate together and move from one party area to the other. And everybody got wind of it, and they was like, I think, expecting maybe 1,000 people or a couple thousand people or a few thousand people, something like that. And it was like 100,000 people showed up, and they was like people like bathing in the local pond here, nudity. I mean, it was like crazy. People
The pond's
sleeping in people's
down to
yards.
the
And can you imagine the farmers
this
here in
way,
the area?
not
'Cause this
that
was like
way.
farming country up here.
That
in
way's
North Idaho
mountains,
area.
that way's
so,
pond.
there was a lot of crazy
The
stuff going
pond's
on back
to
in those
the
days,
left.
and if you can get with the right people, they have
It's
memories of it. And I'm sure there's some
yucky
people here
now
probably
because
still
that
live
was the
and love
sewer,
Alabama. People can
obviously.
definitely tell you stories about
No
it. They
one's
was probably
supposed to
here during
swim
that
in
time,
it.
so
It
if you're up
doesn't
here
taste
and
good.
you see a local, and they say, and you can know if it's a local because they're going to be very kind. And this is where the big rock concert.
All right, let me see. I'm going to try to skip. That's the church. This is the tire shop. This was a hotel, and it's been for sale forever, this whole deal. And every day it gets rotted more and more. This is going to be the original town, but like you said, the water would come off the top of this Fox Mountain behind it.
That he built here in Love Valley.
That would be his parents' house here, his house. Let's see, let's roll. All right, he's back uptown. And this is what you see every day because groups will get together.
That is so cool. All right, we are making it through town. You can see the people really out today on this beautiful day here in North Carolina, doing a little bit of horseback riding up here in Love Valley. Exciting time for this community. All right, we have made our way back down here
Oh,
to the
Lord have
entrance of
mercy.
Main Street, and I just want to come
But
up and
when
take
you
a
do,
little
I
bit
bet
closer
you're a
look at this
handful.
There was some people over here a few minutes ago when I first came
Both
in.
of
but we
those
weren't able
are-
to really check it out, but check out this light system right here.
I'm
Wow, that's out of
finished,
place for
same
old
thing.
Western town. I mean, this looks like lights you might would have found in like Disney World or right in front of the, you know, the castle at Magic Kingdom. That's kind of
Okay,
interesting.
this is to let like
And, right here
that's
on the
Cindy
sign, it
Barker,
says,
which
Barker
she married
169. Don't really know the significance
Jet.
of this,
She was Jet's
this
wife,
place, but it says welcome up there, and it actually
and
has an old
she
skeleton, red
has
skeleton
taken
up there,
over
like,
the
kinda hanging
home
over
that
the roof.
Andy
Like,
and
here, like
her
it's in a hurricane.
her in-laws were Andy
Really don't know
and
what this
Eleanor.
was.
But the granddaughter lives across
Ain't
the
really a whole
street
lot of
there in
sign, but I'll line
Moonshine
up here.
Gifts, owns that
And then we
building.
have a sign right here on the
That
wall
was in the
says
process
Love
of
Valley,
being bought when I had to
cowboy
move
and a
out
cowgirl dream
and all
come
that.
true. All right, my friends, that will pretty much conclude my little tour through Love Valley today. Really happy to see
That's
that
Stella's pea
this
spot,
place is
and
looking
we
on the up,
go
on the mend,
away
if you
from
will.
town.
Their septic problem hopefully
That's
will get
funny.
fixed this September, as the woman told me. And
This
really
is
cool to
all
come
the
up here. This
dogs-
is such a cool little town, and you don't
dog's
see towns like this every
bathroom.
day. And that's what makes it so neat to walk
On
down through
this
this
little
little western
ledge.
town here in western North Carolina.
Watch
at
your
the foothills
step.
of the Brushy Mountains. A lot of people
It's
riding
not,
horseback
like,
today,
labeled
which does
that
not
way.
surprise me because it was a gorgeous day. It's still beautiful. And
But
it's getting
yeah,
even warmer,
that's-
and I'm about ready to come out of this jacket.
Basically where we're going. That one building they walked by that said Misfit Corral and it was all like, looked like it was just boarded up with plywood. This is what it looks like inside. See, so they have, like I said, outside it's a facade. I don't know why. But, and that goes on in the Misfit Corral. And then this one here. This is somebody who really doesn't know much about the town, but they are here to be tourists. So that's basically that.
Simplify your moving experience.
So they're gonna
with
do
the
me some
Mayflower
ads.
Personalized Move Portal. It's how smart
Good
movers
8.
like.
So anyway, I am going to raid out this morning, get some business done, and hopefully y'all have a good race day. I'll get you out. I'm gonna go to Vada today. Alrighty. I'm glad y'all was hanging out. I'm glad that you see what the endeavor is. It's got so much positive, so much that we can do there, and we will have a really, really good good chance to, be able to, how do I say, organize my budget better, for sure. I'll send you all to water. I think you're there now, are you? I think I hit right. Oh, wow. Bye, Liz. Sorry, I missed y'all. Thanks, gamer. I hope you come visit. Let me see. What are we doing? We're finding our OBS. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the morning for another quick one. Update you on what we got going on. Love y'all. Bye.